Okay. Um, I don't know what happened to my screen here. Just got in, and now I'm having technical difficulties already. Oh boy. I might have to hop off here and come back in. I can't see my screen. This is bizarre. I'll be right back. I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna restart my computer and jump back in. So if you guys want to just come right back in. Sorry, everyone. All right. I'm back. Can everybody hear me? I could see my screen now. Okay. Thank God. So what happened? So what happened was I added myself to the stage, and my screen went black, like everything. Um, so I had to actually Control Alt and Delete my way into restarting my computer because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't see my mouse cursor. I couldn't see anything. It was just a lit up black screen. It's never happened before. And what's weird is that moments before that happened, there was a weird pop sound, like electrical, like pop, like there was really quiet, like a very quiet pop. And I wasn't sure if it was coming from my iRig to my mic or if it was just my mic adjusting, but it was really, really weird. Yeah, it is the doll from the thumbnail. And welcome everybody. Welcome Brittany, V, Alexis, Wanderlust. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. There's a whole lot that we're going to be doing today. And for those that are new, my name is Duran Conrad. I am a haunted objects collector. I am the host and lead paranormal investigator to Dead Serious Investigations. I am also a demonologist. I study in the phenomenon of also ufology. and a lot of other ancient knowledge involved in all of this. So take this as not really a show, but more of a class in a sense. This is a way of us learning how to get in the field, how to understand the paranormal in a very educational way. So, and I do want to, I don't want to sound like a broken record during this, but I do have to say this. So I'm going to be saying this probably more than once. Pam the doll is going to be invoked tonight. Well, not Pam the doll, but the spirits involving the object. And in doing this, it's going to, there's going to be activity involved in this. But what I want to, I can't stress this enough. So, for people to please be respectful with the object, viewing it remotely could do some damage if you don't have the proper respect for an object like this. This is not a toy, it's an artifact. It's an artifact that has ancient spirits tied around it, and it's very protective of it. So if you aren't properly protected, and or if you're here to troll Pam or anybody on this podcast, this might not be for you, and I wouldn't suggest it. So viewer discretion it is advised strongly, and keep an open mind, but don't open yourself up too much to Pam. This Pam is a very social entity, but is also very particular of how it wants to respectfully communicate with another person. The spirits surrounding Pam can seem very friendly, but is also very deceptive. So it uses that as an advantage to get in you, to get closer to you, to get cling to you, to make you feel attached to it, to make you obsessed with it. So anyways, basically what it comes down to is just have respect for the doll, because the entities involved in the doll are a guest. So definitely taking consideration as that being a guest as well. So how's everybody doing? How's your weekend? Hello, Greg. Hello, Flexina, 305 Paranormal. Thank you for joining. So there's a whole nother level of energy with dealing with an object like this. It's not your ordinary demon or devil, something a bit further than that. And it goes with the age of the spirit. So this is a very ancient spirit that comes from a very high dimension, but at a low frequency within that dimension. And with a high dimension comes intelligence. So it's extremely intelligent. But the level of energy involved in this object, there was a moment in the past where I had my SLS running on the object. Let me turn this light down. It's a bit bright. My face is almost looking pretty pale with it blasting on my face like that. That did any good, but it's probably better. So I approached what was captured on the SLS, and as soon as I did that, 2 hours later after that, I was throwing up violently all night for the next 24 hours after that. So that's really comes to tell in the sense of the level of energy involved in with these spirits surrounding the object. So there's a difference between being physically attacked and being psychically attacked. This was definitely more of the psychic attack, and with psychic attacks, they could affect you not just spiritually, but they could also affect your organs, all sorts of crazy like stuff that you would never want to happen to you. All right. So I got my guest in backstage. So when they are ready, I'm gonna wait for them to give me the thumbs up to bring them on, so they could take their time. I'm gonna get this light going for Pam right now. If I could get it going. All right. Well, it looks like I'm gonna need new batteries in this already. It's what happens when you store a remote control right over the doll. Yeah, it should be working right now. I don't know why it's not working. These are like barely even use this. Yeah. So I just have to get some new batteries for this real quick. I'll change that. Okay. Is this going to work for me? No? All right. I'm going to have to carefully open up this case and change the batteries in this as well, because it could be just this too, and it would make more sense. Sorry, Pam. Just remove this real quick. So, okay. Okay, so I definitely need to make sure that these batteries, this is crazy because I had no problems with this yesterday, but you know, it is what it is. When you're dealing with this kind of phenomenon, you got to deal with things that'll die on you, malfunctions, all that kind of stuff. So just kind of have to ride the wave. Luckily, I have enough batteries for all this, so I was a bit prepared for this. I figured something was going to be dead, not working. Yep, there we go. We got life. These are duds. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Okay, everything's okay. Loading this back in. Okay. Thank you, Pam, for allowing me to switch that for you. Okay. Okay, so read some of your comments. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes so when I open the door for Pam, there's communication that really just hits right there. When I'm opening up that case, consciously speaking to the entities in the doll, let them know why I need to open this case. So they know what I'm doing. I never just open up that case without, consent or anything, because that is Pam's personal space. So we got the light working for Pam right now. Let's not have it rotating on colors, because actually what I want to do is I want to get this red light going, and then when we go lights out, I'm going to put on the UV spectrum using the phasm light. So Chastity, when you are ready, if you could give me a heads up, let me know so I could get you hopped in here. No rush though. I'm gonna let you guys know some of the pieces that are going to be used. Hey, what's up, Connie? Thank you for joining. So, one of the pieces that I'm going to be beginning with is going to be the Ovulus 5. Everybody should, at least most of the audience should know what this is. But I'm going to be starting out with that and see what kind of messages that will come rolling through. Yeah, it's most people want to be in the same room when I open up that case. It's kind of an unstable situation, but with dealing with some of these particular objects for a while and understanding the personalities, and not just that, just what it's mainly is protection practices and being protected, vibrating yourself close to the divine, and really just keeping a good strong dominion of what you're dealing with and having discernment. It's extremely important. So let's see. So the Ovulus is what I'm going to be starting out with. So I'll get that rolling. And as far as the first device that's going to be rolling, we got the SB7 spirit box. That one's definitely going to be rolling. And I will be doing the portal, but I'm going to be doing that probably a little bit later in. And I'm going to be curious how this is going to roll out. And if anybody has any questions if they had any questions for Pam, I could speak out during the invocation on that. So when I bought the doll from a secondhand store, and the owners of this shop had a huge collection. There was probably like 18 to 20 different types of Raggedy Ann dolls. And there was this massive wall that just had them all over the place. And this particular one really stuck out. And I was just drawn to getting it. So, and I wanted to get Andy with Anne, to have them together as a pair. And originally I went to buy these objects as really just as Halloween props. This is before I got into the field. I had the studies and the knowledge and stuff, but not as far as the extent that I know now. And but I mainly want to use it as a Halloween decoration. I would do these I'd go all out with Halloween and stuff. So I'd have a bunch of props and different themed sections and stuff, and thought it would be cool to get this, but I was for some reason drawn to need to have this item and use them and have it as a prop, or I just wanted to have ownership of the object. I needed to buy it. So I got the object, and when I brought it home, I thought to myself, I should have got that Andy doll when I had the chance. So I went back to go grab it like the next week later, and all the Raggedy Ann dolls were gone. And I asked the owner, I said, "Did someone come in and buy all your dolls?" And she said, "Are you the one that bought that Raggedy Ann doll?" And I was like, the big one? And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "Can we refund you that and you bring that back, because we weren't supposed to sell you that?" And I was like, "No, I bought the doll, like I want to keep it, you know?" And she never wanted to tell me why. And she said that she just wasn't supposed to sell it. So I kept the doll. I later on find out that a lot of strange things were happening after buying the object, and there was a lot of strange energies happening in the house. So at the beginning, when I got into the field and I started getting my first pieces of equipment, I was really, really curious of what would happen if I used a EMF detector and thermostat, or temperature gauge with it. And so I brought that to Pam before the name Pam was established for the object. And a temperature of 666 was keyed into the device, and it wouldn't leave that number. The temperature was gauged at 666, 66.6. And I wasn't getting spikes like milligauss hits, but the temperature was really being very manipulated to stay at a certain degree, which I thought was really weird. And that's what first happened. After that happened, um, then I would come out and I would test it again and see this thing spiking it, getting milligauss reads, and I was getting like huge knots. Like I was getting like 7.2 milligauss reads on the millimeter, and then it would just, stairwell down. It wouldn't stay like that, and it was really weird because, and I would feel around the object, the doll. There's no devices or objects or any pieces of metals or anything in the object. It's just you could tell this doll has never been tampered with, so there's nothing that's causing any type of interferences. But yeah, it was really bizarre. But after that, we ran some tests with some people that I gathered up a team to establish dead serious investigations. And when I started conducting a invocation experiment with this object, being the first object that I would do this with, it was just explosion of activity, like as if something that was in this doll has been wanting to speak to someone for a long time and get a reaction because it was craving attention. So when that happened, um, it was really directed to speak to me. And each time I would speak to the doll, I would get more answers and more answers and more closer than I could ever imagine to the source or origin of what's going on with his object. When I come to find out in the end, when I get the real name of a real ancient demon or devil or aerial spirit, however you want to name it or call it, but I think it's further than any demon or devil. It is an ancient aerial spirit of the one of the 32 aerial spirits of Solomon, and this is very, very ancient and at another level that I wasn't expecting. But like I said, this was kind of a road of knowledge, a long road, and um, I started knowing more. And every time I know a little bit more each time. But the thing about doing this is not to be obsessed with it. Be careful with how immersed you get with a single object, because there's some people that get really too into it. And that's why I really section my time with these objects, and I'm very careful with that. I see that they're in the backstage right now, so if you guys want to give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Awesome. Okay. Yes.
What's up?
I had to unmute myself.
Hey.
All right, it's time for headphones. I got my new ones.
Nice. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
I got new headphones too.
Yeah.
So when I sat down to do this about 20 minutes ago, I did touch my phone, but Necrophonic cut on by itself.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know
That's
why.
crazy.
It's weird. It's giving you the paywall because me and Emily don't pay either, and we're able to stream.
Yeah.
Ain't that weird?
Did they change that?
We've done it. It's
That's
weird
crazy.
already. So
it was not letting me.
And it doesn't want us to.
That's weird. Like I was like, am I doing something wrong? That's why I had to take a picture. I was like, maybe she might recognize what's going on. So
I don't know. I think it was something I clicked when I started, but honestly, that's the last time I've ever said it. So I have no idea. It's really interesting though. But Necrophonic out of nowhere, when I set all my stuff down, because we're kind of surrounded by stuff. We were supposed to do this outside, guys, but it's too windy. So we don't have, we could have set up our tent, but we would have had to anchor it down. It would have made a lot more noise. so it wouldn't have been ideal. We'd have had to mic up and everything. So we're doing it in here. We're, it's not a big deal. I can cleanse and clear, but honestly, this type of communication, guys, is a lot more telepathic. It's a different type of communication. So if you got to see the trailer that we created, yeah, it's the real deal.
Yeah.
When you're communicating with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I want to thank you for helping me out with that trailer. That you guys did a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping me with promoting this. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Absolutely. I like making the trailers. Trailers get people excited, and it gets me excited. So,
yeah.
We got several things we could do tonight. I know me and Duran were talking about doing some stuff.
Yep.
But we have our Estes set up. I have pencil and paper. I don't have a blindfold. We do, but I don't want to ruin my eyes, because when I take the blindfold off, everything will be all like, yeah. So,
oh man.
I do have Emily's cards, so we can start off small. I know we're going to talk a little bit more.
Yeah.
We've got our REM pod, but it doesn't have batteries in it.
So
yeah, he's charging it. He's charging it because it's the 9-volt.
So I want to actually talk to you about this, because this is really interesting. Is you remember how I was talking to you about how one of the batteries exploded? That was luckily it was the one battery that I had taken out of the portal device, and it was right beside it. So luckily it didn't do any damage to it. But those are brand new batteries, and I just find it really interesting that this battery exploded, and the batteries to this light were completely drained, and I only use that light for lives.
Yeah, she's been gearing up, because ever since we talked about it, but ever since I started working on it, there's like a glee about this. Loves the attention. These are, to the people watching, these are just objects. We're focusing on Pam, and Pam is, very interesting. There's a main spirit to me from my research and stuff. There's always a main spirit, but there's always spirits attached to those spirits. And I honestly am developing theories about what type of entities want to haunt objects. What is their objective? Like it's like a battery basically. So it's really interesting. And then, the doll next to Pam, the wedding doll, Angela, that's the client, the client story that I have full permission to share everything. And I only have a few of those out of the several. I mean, I've probably done 50 to 100 by now. I haven't even kept count, but that doll in itself I saw the doll, actually, I saw the entity on a couple lives ago standing next to the doll. And then a couple weeks later, I had like this urge to message my clients, and it had been a year and about 2 months or 3 months since I talked to them. And when I messaged them, sure enough, activity had just started back up, and it was all intuitive. So, even though we did, and they haven't had this particular entity mess with them anymore, but it was like a psychic impression. I saw the girl standing there in the corner where the dresser or the shelves meet Angela. She was standing there.
Wow.
So
that's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I want to just quickly say hey to everybody that's coming in, because I did. So we've been waiting, but we've redirected all of the traffic on socials over to your stuff. So that's yeah.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah, that way
that's so awesome.
Yeah, that everybody wanted to tune in. So
yeah, and I want to let everybody know that I was trying to make it to where we could both stream this together on both of our channels, but I don't know if it's some type of weird technical difficulty that I usually endure during these lives that was causing it, but it's asking for me to pay for an upgrade on StreamYard in order to do that. And it's like, dude, really? Like, and honestly, if I knew that ahead of time, I would have maybe paid for a month or something like that. Like, but with it being last minute, I wasn't expecting anything like that. It's ridiculous that if they changed it that way, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's because of some type of difficulty that I'm just dealing with.
And you know what? Like, just for its and giggles, censor myself, maybe after this, I can just set up a quick thing and we can go backstage and see if it works, just to prove whether it's true.
Technical.
Yeah. Or,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
we can do that.
Absolutely.
No problem. And I just want to say, hey, I'm going back up through the chat because I know we were a little late. We finally got for those that are following our life drama, we got the alternator finally put on the car. So that's what took us a little bit longer to get ready. We had somebody bring us a tool because our tools just wasn't cut. Well, we had the right tool. It just wasn't long enough. That's what she said. So,
yep, there we go.
So we got that fixed.
Already cracking open that bottle.
Yeah. Hey, Larry Sharp, if you're still here. Hey, Sissy. Brittany, Yvette, how you doing? Wonderlust, what's up, girl? Let's see. Who else? Flexina, hey, Greg, 305. I think, let's see if I see anybody else. I don't think that might be everybody. Just Rach, yep. And Mikey's Hauntings, hey, you made it, buddy. What's up? We're just kind of getting started and talking a little bit about what's going on.
And with anybody that is new, and for people that miss the stream and watch this at the end after this, can you guys introduce yourselves to those new people that come and tune in?
Oh yeah, so for sure. So I'm Chastity. I go by AKA the Luminary Luna Beams. I'm a psychic medium and I do astrology, and I specialize in the paranormal, spiritual guidance, and intuitive development. So I've got a podcast, Our Appalachian Nightmare. We're kind of on a hiatus to come back with something super special, awesome for you guys. The Luminary Luna Beams. These are all YouTube channels too. You can listen to our podcast on Apple or Spotify. Or excuse me, anywhere you can get your podcast, really. Lights at Midnight, you search it, you'll find it. Luminary Luna Beams. I do a lot of my astrology and psychic stuff there. I'm trying to get more in the groove of that. And right now, my biggest focus is our channel, Our Appalachian Nightmare, but our is collectively our. So we really are focusing on a lot of Appalachian locations to show exactly how spooky Appalachia can get. Currently, we are on a 2-part series. So the first part just came out. A lot of you folks probably have seen it. It's the Arts Place in Danbury, North Carolina. The second part comes out 2 Fridays from now. So I've got to start editing next Thursday. Wish me luck. So that will finish off the basement portal box session with the Arts Place. And then we will go right into the courthouse, which that video should be a little bit shorter as I think of right now. But you need to introduce yourself. That's all that's going on. But
I can't think about the courthouse without thinking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. I'm V. I do the videography and I do some of the editing. I do a lot of the social media. So if you're talking to me on Facebook, you're talking to me.
Yep. I don't have access to that. That's all V. But your name is V, and what do you like?
I don't want to do it now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hear it. You started this.
You ruined it.
Look, y'all put an emoji in the chat. Y'all know you want to hear it. You know you want to hear him say that. But we do have merch out for that. We just hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for y'all and even Dead Serious, it's been huge support for us, and we appreciate it. So
that's awesome.
Thank you.
I like it.
There it is. And don't we all?
Yeah. So that's why we're here.
Awesome. So I already said my disclaimer to everyone about Pam, so I'll probably end up doing that before we actually start doing our invocation, when we really start tapping.
Okay.
Because doing this versus what I usually would do on my podcast, where I would be testing some pieces of equipment, it would be not as open as I am going to be now. This is also going to be my first Lights Out live since 2022. So I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of interesting communication. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm ready for it. So I've got myself grounded. I spent a lot of time with that today and it's also part of the reason why it was kind of clutch for me to make it on time. So
yeah, I understand. Yeah, definitely a big warning. I mean, my thoughts were we kind of start low, slow, just kind of ease into it.
Ease into the water.
The first thing I would like to do, and I can do this while we're just chatting, is use Emily's cards.
Yeah, go for it.
To be able to get, like, just to see what kind of comes up. Your leg a little bit. It hurts my knee. Got old knees.
I had to stretch it out.
That's fine. We old over here. We all crippled.
I apologize for the dirty hands. I've been working on cars.
Yeah.
You got working hands.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But
I do keep one fingernail clean though.
Ew.
Just for the people that
I don't want to know. Anyways, that's your picking nail. Anyways, this deck, if I'm using it, Emily, she's got, her campaign might have ended. She might be changing up some things with her campaign and how she's going to print these, but these will be available for print soon. Emily worked really hard on these. I'm proud to say that I helped her, like, kind of develop this deck in a way through, like, Nights at Midnight and suggestions. So this is Emily's creation, but it's also really close to my heart, honestly. And she did a fantastic job. This is just a like a, what do you call it? A mock. It's not a mock deck because it actually works, but it's going to be a little bit different when it actually comes to fruition to get printed. But as you know, things like this take time. It's expensive to get them printed. So she is working on that.
They're well thought out too.
Yeah, it's a 96 card deck.
Oh wow! I was looking at it. I was like, "Dang, that's a lot of cards for a deck."
Yeah, me and her kind of went back and forth. I'm like, Emily, you should split it in half. She's like, no, and I'm like, yes. She's like, no.
I'm like, yeah, because I'm so used to my decks being like 72 cards, and I have like one that has like 28, but they're like super fancy and expensive. But like, but usually most of my decks are like 72. Seeing that 90, what you said, 96?
Yeah, I believe it's 96.
Incredible.
It might be different because I think she added and subtracted a couple. So I've got like the OG deck.
Gotcha.
Are we seriously like having a talk about who's got the bigger deck?
But anyway, I generally pull 7 cards for this. I have no idea what he's doing. I generally pull 7 cards for this. So, while we're chatting, that's what you'll probably hear me doing. What's up? Down south 305.
I wanted to thank you guys again for coming on.
Of course.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Happy to do it.
Yeah. I also want to let everybody know that this is also the first time I've ever done a live investigation with Pam with another individual.
Oh, wow.
So, never done a live investigation with Pam with another individual. The only time I've ever done investigations with Pam with other individuals was in person. So doing this remotely with somebody on live is the first. I have investigated Pam, obviously, with Melinda the Mystic Witch, but it wasn't live. This was pre-recorded. So that's what separates that moment versus what we're doing now.
Yeah.
This is live, and whatever happens in the now.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to be really interesting. And the spirits and Pam understand this too. So they're ready. So
they're ready to communicate and say whatever it is, and they can be messed up stuff too. It ain't going to be all rainbows and unicorns either.
I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring that up as part of also the disclaimer with everyone is that there's some things that could come through that could relate to somebody in this audience, and don't take it personal, especially if it affects you emotionally, because what it's doing is it's trying to make you open and vulnerable in order for it to attack you. You may not feel the attack will come mentally, and that's how it begins. The attacks usually come psychically and mentally first before the physical attacks start coming. So and what happens is that when you feed it this emotional distressed effect on yourself, and you start wanting to argue with it, or you feel very sad or broken down from it, then you become spiritually a proxy for the negative. So then that's when it starts to surround itself around you and feed you what you're giving out. So that way it's basically gaslighting your emotions and then making it escalate. So that's why I strongly suggest people respect this object and don't really listen, but don't listen to it, if that makes sense, because it's going to twist lies with the truth. And that's what things at this level of intelligence does. We're dealing with something at a higher dimension, but at a low frequency.
Yep.
And the higher the dimension, the higher the intelligence. So just because it's something that's dark doesn't mean that it's dumb. There's a lot of very intelligent entities that are dark.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Like, for example, I've told the story on my podcast, but like when we first, me and Duran met over a photo, basically, when I first started kind of pushing on social media, and we had just started Lights at Midnight, and Duran had this beautiful photo. You can see the entity in between the air, and it was huge. And I'm like, is it okay if I kind of outline what I see?
Yes.
And I was not good. I'm not the best, artist or anything, but I outlined it. He's like, yep, that's exactly what's there, because I had never seen anything like that in a photo. I mean, I've seen things, but nothing like that. And that's how we kind of made friends. And then he was our first guest on our podcast. And then I ended up having like astral experiences with this doll. And it was the most grotesque thing. I had to decapitate like this dragon. And it was me and this other man, and I guess he was a light worker, astral traveler. We worked together. I had this, and I don't even do stuff like this in my dreams, but like he had the sword. I had to jump up and pull the head, and he chopped it off, and nothing but like a bloody and I could smell it in my dream. It was disgusting. And matter of fact, I know this sounds really weird, but later on I figured out that the place that I was in was like a big brick hallway, and it had like these oval or half moon tunnels or whatever, and doorways. That's where Robert the doll is stored. And I think that's my guides telling me that these entities that inhabit haunted objects are all from not all, but I mean, because there's different levels. You can break down a haunting, right, in multiple levels. You can break down an haunted objects haunting in multiple levels too. So some of these higher ranking entities, they deal with these dolls. And I know that sounds crazy, but Robert the doll is in, Key West, in a old, like, what is it called? Fort. I'm pretty sure that's where he's at. They used to use it to kind of protect Key West, and that's where he's at. So that's like one of the first cues in on this. That's part of I want to do a haunted object series. I was going to do it on Luminary, but now that we are getting rolling on Our Appalachian Nightmare, eventually I'll do my client case on Our Appalachian Nightmare. But for example, I got the cards pulled. Would you like for me to go ahead and share them?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna scoot closer.
I'll scoot back.
All right, so first and foremost, this is no surprise. We know it says shapeshifter. Something that I'm going to see if I can get it to focus. The shapeshifter card. So we know, and we can talk about these individually if you like, because it's a good idea. Shapeshifter, these entities can shapeshift. They're made of energy. They can manipulate. These energies are they're not necessarily just in the doll itself. It's like an energy thread that they create with that object. So it's not like, they're inside the doll and then get up and puppet it around. If you ever see an object move, it's the energy on the outside of the doll that can make that happen. Of course they can go in the doll, but they're not trapped in there. They choose to be in there.
So I need to say something real quick. Just as you were talking about that, I got a strong smell of incense, and I'm not burning any incense.
Interesting.
Yeah, very strong.
Yeah, I smell that candle.
I had to put it out.
Yeah.
I'm I'm not burning any candles. I'm not burning incense. But I got a strong smell of incense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it almost smelled like a little bit of dragon's blood, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like dragon's blood. That's really interesting. I don't I don't ever have that happen around these objects. So that's
Yeah,
the first.
could be, dragon's blood is something that you use for these types of entities too.
Yeah.
That you use to keep it kind of under wraps. I am going to go ahead and just turn on the Seer app because, guys, we are going to do Estes session. We're going to do Spirit Box. Just hang tight. We're just kind of we're easing into it. I am turning on Seer app though, so if we get anything while I'm talking about this,
yes,
we can let you know. I like Seer. I just 100% heads up. I'm not 100% sold on the Seer app, but I do think it's very interesting. I haven't read through the actual details, which is something I want to do.
Yeah.
For me, it's like a 70-30. Like 70%, I could believe that these spirits can. I believe they can. So the app's integrity itself is what I'm concerned with. But I still use it. I just want to be very transparent about that.
So basically, for the audience to take what they see from the Seer app as a grain of salt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna go lights out because I'm gonna activate my Obulus and basically start beginning. So I'm gonna take these headphones off real quick.
We got our first image.
That's the dim.
Yeah. That's our first image.
Does that look
Yes. Does that look familiar to anybody?
I can't recognize it, but it's definitely a house that has like some pillars or something in front of it.
Yeah, it's almost like a nursing home. Honestly, it looks like a nursing home from around these parts.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah, look, there's a light post out front.
That's crazy.
Sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and screenshot this.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. That way we can use it for later.
Yeah, definitely.
That's as bright as it glows it goes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you need to keep an eye on this, dear. But yeah, these entities can shapeshift, and they have things that come around with them that can shapeshift. It's generally one main entity, but they have legion underneath them, or even spirits. If they're not associated necessarily with demons, they can still have more stuff around them, but they can shapeshift, and they can do that in your mind's eye too. So if you're a visioner, like if you can see things, then that's why I said take these down, because that's what's making it so bright. It's these two right here.
Okay. Make this work.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It ain't gonna matter. So
I'm gonna make it to where you guys could see me well.
Okay.
How's that? How's the lighting? I feel like there's too much shadowing going on.
I mean, it looks cool though. It's up to you. Yeah, I like it. If I could have more shadow right now, we would have more shadow, but we don't.
More shadow, but the ring light's too much.
Yeah, we have to have the ring light.
Yeah. So I think I got it. I think this might be suitable. Does everybody agree with this?
Looks good.
Okay. All right, because I'm doing red light UV, so I got the full spectrum going. Got the red light for Pam, so that kind of matches in. I didn't want to do too many different colors. I wanted to keep it uniform and doing red light and UV. So
agree.
Yeah. So yeah, perfect. Did you get something, Chess?
I was just going to share the next card because there's 7. So
okay.
One entity, main entity, and we've been talking about this, interestingly enough. So one entity that really comes through with the doll, because I had my intent to focus. Oh no, I just got a message. Okay, honey, I'm not going to mention your name, but definitely clear out and be safe. And if you need me, message me again, and I'll see it pop up on my screen. Miss Lady that just messaged me. I don't know if she's on here. She said she had to pop off. I might have to respond to her here in just a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
But one entity. So that's like the main thing, which Duran, you could probably speak to that because you've kind of figured that out.
Would you like me to get the Ovilus going?
Yeah, please.
All right. Let's go for it.
Small king.
Oh, wow. How interesting. Small king. Now, there's two things that I feel has logic to those. What's this card?
Devil.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting that you just pulled that. That's interesting that you pulled that because in demonology, Pomercial reigns as a infernal king of the East. Infernal king and chief of the East of aerial spirits. And you just pulled the devil card. So, and anything of that rank, of anything of like a president rank or king, is considered a devil. And but like I was saying, this is more than just a demon or devil. Yeah, the rank is there, but we're dealing with something a little bit more high of at a danger level, that as far as energy goes. It also said friendly and mark. So the friendly means that it's ready to it could be ready to communicate and have a mutual respect with us. So but we also want to take that as a grain of salt because we also got to be careful. And that's why discerning is important. Felt, inner.
Yeah, I messaged that person back. I'm not going to name names, but someone had to leave. They were being physically affected in their head. And this isn't like they wouldn't message me like that. I can say these are reputable people.
Okay. Got it.
Just and so that's everybody's aware.
Yeah, that's why I have that disclaimer for those reasons, because there's certain people that could be extremely intuitively sensitive, or they are just sensitive to the paranormal in general. And this could leave you vulnerable. And people that really don't understand what they're tuning into, they could be influenced into thinking some really hateful things about the object because it's wanting to egg you on and use that ego energy to attack you. Not saying that the person themselves are egotistical, but it's influencing. It's the influence of the ego. So you got to be careful of opening up too much. So we got numbers, channeling, portal.
And that's kind of what, channeling, that is kind of what's happening tonight. That's what I'll be doing even more. I'm just going to see how much I can get. So far we got shapeshifter, one entity, devil. Okay. That's the card that come up. Thought forms come up. So let me see if I can get it to focus. Hold on. Thought forms also come up. So for me, people that, like he was saying earlier, people that really focus in and intently on things like this, thought forms are created every single day. They're positive or negative. It's up to us. We create thought forms when we think, right? But thought forms can develop into something bigger. And the more energy that you give as a situation like this with Pam, the more it grows. So we add to it based on how much interaction and interest that we put into it. Our thought form, we create a thought form. You can connect with this type of energy as a sensitive person like myself. You can connect with this type of energy if you're sensitive very easy. And are you feeling the cold breeze? I've been hit cold
drafts.
Yeah, which it could be natural. I'm not going to make it out to be anything it's not, but I have been very hot. I get hot flashes kind of anyways, I guess you could say. but it's coming up from the floor. And the only vision that I've had since I've been sitting here, I just didn't say nothing, and I need to learn how to start doing that, is like a shadow being that's like cloaked, almost like a ghost, and it goes around me. And when that happened, it got cold.
Oh, wow. It said energy, demand, rhythm.
Yeah. And entertainment is the next card that I got.
Interesting.
So, yep. Weird. That's what we're kind of doing right now, but this is entertainment for research purposes. That's the next one. No boundaries. Look, ghost to ghost, guys. Coast to coast, ghost to ghost. No boundaries.
It just great just came through.
Oh, the other word though. Is that what you mean?
So great, like whatever you did was great.
I thought you meant grape, like grape. Okay, good. And then false ideologies. So like a false idol type energy. That's kind of that's what this entity would want. So that says a lot, and we can pull more later, but that's like a good start. You don't feel that? Put your hand right here.
I feel it.
Put your hand right here.
It just said Mama Z out. House. Complete.
Mama Z out house. Look.
Yeah, the house.
Got a blinding light.
It's like a light, but there's a pen and a piece of paper. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Really? That's crazy. You were talking about that.
Yeah, there's a hand there with a pencil opening portal. That's kind of what I'll be doing.
Oh, that's trippy.
Investigations. Have you ever got help a lot?
Do you feel it?
What's that?
Do you ever get the word help a lot, or like help me?
Everybody does.
Okay, because that was an impression that I got. Because something like
we missed one.
Something like this always.
We missed 3.
That side for me.
You missed 3 because you're not paying attention to it. I don't know how many.
Well, I was connecting, so
yeah. I don't. You had one job.
It just said. It just said. Earth, dirty, communicate, counter.
I don't know how many we missed. We didn't miss any, thank God, because I got it. Only allows me to look at 3.
3, yeah.
But because I don't pay for it either. We ain't paying for nothing around here. We just riding. We riding the wave, y'all.
I do.
This is how you roll. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So if is that a wheelchair? Yeah, it is.
Remember me saying nursing home and hospital wheelchair?
That's weird.
And then keys, like with a chain. And then this like blank slate drawing board.
Yeah, that's crazy. Also, I want to inform everyone that we're not dealing with one spirit. Pam, we're dealing with many, or even up to 1,000 spirits, because Primordial, according to demonology, Primordial commands over 1,000 spirits. So he's always surrounded by other spirits at all times, never travels alone. So there could be 20 spirits in here, but Primordial is the dominant speaker of this object. So beings came through. So beings, there's a spiritual meaning to that, and I forgot what it meant, but it's not literally meaning beings like the food. There's a meaning to that later. Oh, didn't I just say I don't know it right now? So probably it'd be a good idea for me to check on what that means later on. So what I want to do is I want to get my millimeter, because I feel like, because I keep feeling like a lot of energy right here. I need to get a device going over here.
Yeah, where's our K2?
There.
That's a SP7.
Yeah, that's up there.
K2 meter.
Oh, the EMF? I don't know.
Yeah, the K2.
So I'm going to get this EM pump going.
The only thing we were going to set up, if we had thought about setting up another video, because we could have used another phone with another account and like shot the video over to the devices, like cat ball, but this one don't even work no more. I don't even know why we have it. We got to get more cat balls. Wanderlust worked at a senior living facility. Lights would go on and off, definitely haunted. I work nights. Greg says Pam is happy. She's the center of attention. That is the truth. Alexis, burning incense and candles can help with protection. It helps me a lot, and I felt I should share. That is very true.
Yep.
One job, Rach. One job.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this bar stool over here, and I'm gonna just use it to set this REM pod over here.
Okay.
Since I can't mount it to anything, so.
Okay.
I think you have the K2.
It's okay. We'll be all right. I can use another device. I've got this device. Guys, my extra devices. So I have all three of my phones and my tablets. We're filming with my tablet, and then we got another seer. I'm going to run something else on this phone is what I'm trying to say. What in the heck is this? That looks weird. Is that crows? What in the world? That's like the sky it's trying to.
Almost like UFOs in the sky.
Well, it almost reminds me of a flock of birds, but there's one in the middle.
That's weird. It almost looks like a bunch of like shadow beings or something flying in the sky or something.
Some Harry Potter stuff. Yeah, some
black
cloud. It turned into a black cloud.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Stop. Stop chain certain.
Chain. It said chain.
Yeah, it said chain.
So I got that image.
Really? Oh yeah, that was right. You showed me that just a moment ago. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
gonna
see.
That's the validation we need.
Yes.
This really helps us out a lot.
Yeah, because the guys, we're over 3,000 miles away. So that was the whole purpose of this. So guys, get your questions. If you're still watching, get your questions ready for when we do like Spirit Box and Estes and stuff. I know I'm kind of thinking of some things here soon. I've got to get sidetracked. I don't want this picture to go away. Whenever, not soon, but here before real long, I'm going to tune out and I'm going to like automatic write and draw just to see what I get. If I get any visions, I'm going to speak them out loud. And we could do that while.
All right, I'm gonna mount this millimeter to a tripod real quick. I do want to make a note of this for the audience. That I am here currently with these objects. So I have to remain very focused. If I can't get to your comment, I will answer all your questions towards the end as like an open discussion and Q&A. Chastity, if you, that's cool. Is that a little sensor thing?
No, it's just a ghost. I was trying to make it look like V while you were talking. Sorry. So Chas, if you could help me with the questions, if there's any questions. Yeah, we can.
I'm not saying the whole time because you're gonna have moments where you're gonna need to focus.
Yeah.
We got a temperature spike right now. So you're gonna need your time to focus. But what I basically want to make sure everybody's aware of is that there's going to be moments of real key focused moments where we may not be able to get to your questions immediately. And if we don't, re-ask that question for us towards the end, because we will be answering many questions if anybody has any.
Yep. And we got V's phone right here on the live chat. So between me and him, we can definitely help out with that.
Okay. I'm getting a lot of temperature spikes.
That's the next seer one. So we got a bunch of flowers and roses. The freaking roses.
Whoa. So, are those flowers?
Yep. They're roses and dandelions.
Pam loves flowers.
It is very cold right here. I wish I had a temperature sensor right here. We don't have those things yet, but hopefully one day.
Well, also makes you wonder how many thought-created entities are involved with under Promercial's wing. I mean, humans could replenish other spirits for under other devils or aerial spirits to be in charge of, and then take advantage to recruit those kind of spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing is just going off right nuts with this temperature.
I wish I had one here because it probably would be doing the same thing, because like it's right in front of me. It keeps coming up from the floor. I felt it wrap around my arm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just don't have anything that measures temperature yet.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna make this work. I gotta lower this tripod. I got it way too high. What did you say? Modern heart field. That's interesting. Okay, I gotta level this out. So my hand's right here. I don't want to block Pam, so I gotta lower this just enough. Okay, so I got it right about here. All right, I think I found the place where I need to get it. So I got this locked in right now. It's another temperature spike in the room.
So is it going up or down?
So the higher the pitch, the temperature increases. The lower the pitch, the more the temperature decreases.
Gotcha.
So, and that goes at a rapid pace of temperature increase. So that temperature gauge should not be going off unless the temperature changes too fast.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So I'm going to have the REM setting on this. So, or you know what? Yeah, I'm going to have a REM setting set on this. Yeah, see, I'm telling you, that's what, remember I was saying I'm feeling energies around here, and the humidity levels are changing constantly. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
So I got to re-zero this right now, so that way this could stop going off in my hand. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you know what's what can be frustrating about these? Okay, now it finally stops going off. It could be also going off a lot because I'm right next to Pam.
Yeah.
I need to set this range to the lowest range possible, which actually it was. Jesus. So yeah, you notice that the change of pace of these spikes are changing, and look at, there it goes. Yeah, we haven't even started asking any questions.
Yeah, V's getting our 9-volt put in a REM pod just to see if it will go off.
Yeah. So this is going to be quite interesting.
I'm going to put this REM pod in front of me, like behind the camera, since I'm feeling a lot of energy. If he can get it working. Is it working, babe? All right.
Okay. Got it. Holy cow.
I turned off Seer.
Okay. All right. I'm back. I'm able to sit down again.
Woo!
That's me. Don't be alarmed. I got to make sure that we're at the lowest setting. There. All right. So let me make sure I'm not in the way. So let me test. So, okay. You see how close I have to be for this to even go off, though? That's what I love about the millimeter. The sensitivity, yeah. You have to be really close for a physical object to make it go off. Okay,
good thing.
Okay, so that's not me. I just re-zeroed it twice. I keep having to re-zero this thing because I keep thinking it's me and it's not sometimes. And
you have to basically grab our antenna to make this go off.
Oh yeah.
Or I put my hand up, my fingers like that. Don't look around the antenna, and you hear that sound.
Yeah,
that's within proximity of the antenna.
You got it. So you're only getting 1 inch of proximity between your fingers and that antenna. That's crazy.
Dizzy.
That's yeah. Oh, it's getting you.
Maybe, or it could.
Yeah.
Oh, it went off.
Oh.
It could be me. Sometimes it's doing it again.
Wow.
We never have this thing go off.
Yeah.
It could be my energy sometimes. I have set REM pods off from 5 feet away in haunted locations.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, it's been me that sets it off. I will walk within but it depends on how high my energy is. But that thing go off twice just now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all heard it, but it's like it's a POS REM pod, honestly. Mm-hmm. But we're getting ready to change that. That's me. You hear that sound? That means something's near it.
You know what? I just thought about something, but I wasn't sure about this because I don't know how it would act with pointing this towards the glass case and then pointing it at reflecting off onto the camera and causing me to end up blinding somebody. But I was thinking about doing a laser grid. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about doing a laser
to be closer to the camera.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing the laser grid, but I don't know how that would work with it reflecting off the glass case.
It's not a good idea.
It's not?
I think we maybe just leave it as is right now because I'm getting waves of dizziness.
Okay.
Because they know I'm getting ready to put these headphones on and start tapping in. It just did it again. Our REM pod's going off and you're missing it doing whatever the hell you're doing. How are you making it go off? Okay.
Dang. Flowers. You had that picture of the flowers.
I did.
And it said R. Like the letter R. Yeah, see? Flowers. And this said heart was the last word before flowers, and then flowers, and then R.
Yeah. It's like I swear that's what I'm getting ready to do. That's trippy.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. There's the chain again.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So if there's any spirits here that would like to communicate that is associated with Pam, we are open for communication. 2 square.
All right, when I put these on, you've got to come here and sit down.
Okay. So
I'm ready for you.
Is there 2 individual spirits? Some. So for the sum of you that are here, would you like to communicate? We're open for your communication. Right now would be the time to communicate. You could interact with one of these devices. This is the Mel meter. You could just come right to it and it could go off like this. And you could cause it to, I have to touch the antenna in order for it to have any other color but green.
Oh,
so this temperature is going off.
My brain out my ears.
It's voice canceling, boo.
So
how long I'll be able to wear them?
Got the REM pod. If you want to come to this REM pod and touch this antenna, you make this go off, I would greatly appreciate it. Low.
No.
Whose?
Much better.
Are you coming from a low vibration?
Not yet. That's for last. You could ask questions. The whole point is to ask questions through the to see if we get any responses here, but also to see if you can ask her any questions as well.
Okay. What do you have that's over here responding right now?
Just a REM pod.
Just a REM pod?
Yeah, it went off.
So only ask yes, no's?
Yeah, I had to be this close to the thing for make the REM pod go off while you were in there.
So I just got Tina and Boots. And Tina is a pretty common human name.
Who's Tina?
Could be a spirit associated with the doll. Like I've stated, this spirit has many spirits it commands, so it's got a lot of spirits that could take on common human names. I get that a lot from this object. So when we see these names like this, just flipping through this obulus, we got to be careful of what to take in as a human spirit and what's not a human spirit. It said Tina boots. I'm not wearing any boots.
Yeah, I took off too.
I'm actually in my socks, so because I don't want to have any contamination with my boots hitting anything, and I got a lot of stuff around me right now. So it says who's Tina boots? So I don't know what that means. Can you explain to us what you're trying to tell us?
There's somebody listening.
How many of you are there?
7.
Were you a human at one point? What do you think about people who are alive?
Don't talk louder. I can hear through the headphones. I can't. I'm not playing anything through them. I'm just doing it to try to deprivate myself as much as possible, guys. Just so you know. I see boots, but I see boots in the rain, and I see a stone. It's almost like I'm being taken back through time, where this entity has existed and interacted with humans. Like I've been taken back to like where we were big time farmers. Like this was way a while ago, and like I see this is a time and a place. I see a windmill, like those old windmills with the houses and stuff, and I see it burning on fire. And I heard wah. I wrote that down like wah. And then flying through like the grassy fields. It's almost like it brought destruction to either a family or a small farming community.
That's the temperature has risen because my hands are sweating, so that's why these high pitched tones keeps hitting. The temperature's rising over here.
Okay, and it's getting colder here.
Yeah, it
really is. And normally don't get this cold in this room either. Like it's not super cold. It's just like a nice breeze. I'm quite enjoying the breeze actually, but also crop failure. Like it can affect more than one thing, but
I'm seeing a famine, like starvation.
Yeah,
people hungry, people fighting over.
And I smell burning plastic. That's just what I've got so far.
I see fire, like burning buildings. Like barricades on roads.
Beckon.
I got a question. Who's your boss? Who's your supervisor?
Who's in charge of this object?
Me. I'm just going to tell you what I hear.
Can you take me to your supervisor?
So, can you explain who me is?
I hear chains. I'm not connecting to anything, guys. I'm just telling you what I hear psychically.
It's weird you hear that.
Boots, boom, boom, chains.
Do you not want
medieval times? It's like I'm in a torture chamber. It's like I'm in the dungeon.
Do you not want to talk about you?
He wants to talk about what he does.
What do you do? What's your favorite thing to do more than anything else?
Turn on never mind, I'll do it.
SB?
I can't think.
Or necrophonic?
No.
Industry.
Industry?
Place. Already.
Is your industry still around? Is there anything you would like us to do for your industry?
What is your industry associated with? What is the purpose of your industry? Or let's simplify this more. What is your industry?
Pain.
There's a tap on the wall, but I think it could be just the apartment adjusting. So I got no hits on these devices yet. Do you want to touch any of these devices? You should be very familiar with these devices. We've used them before. And I greatly appreciate the contact.
Were you alive at one point? Like in this physical realm?
This is an energy.
Yeah.
It's an energy of influence. I'm telling you in the intuitive hits I'm getting. As y'all ask questions, I'm telling you what I'm getting. It's very interesting because I'm getting information and the boxes and stuff aren't talking. What'd it say? Young.
Young.
Did you die young?
I see fingers on a desk going like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
Tap.
Yeah. Kind of waiting for its time.
Not yet. We'll do that last. It'll just be too noisy.
Said, who is that? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas?
I'm not getting people at all with this energy. I'm getting actions and reactions and things that it has done and how it has influenced people over generations is what I'm getting.
Yeah, and it's said by people that have conjured this spirit in the past, that the only depiction they have of primordial is a black mass.
Is it associated with air? The element of air or water?
Yes.
Air.
Yeah, it's an aerial spirit.
That's why I see it flying.
Yeah.
It's a presence. It's not a person. It's not an individual. It's how it affects people.
And it's associated heavily with air. It is. I just heard that.
It can cause that.
Yeah. So it rules as an infernal king of the cardinal direction east of aerial spirits. Sculpture. I don't know if I have any sculptures.
What about a sculpture?
It wants one of it.
Oh yeah, because it wants to be an idol.
Idol, false ideologies, false
yes. Statue. That would really sculpture statue would make sense.
Did you like being worshipped?
A lot of these questions, I think we might get a lot more answers to I'm getting hits, and it'd be interesting now where I'm kind of doing like
I should be recording this and going back through it with one of our static cams.
we're recording it right now.
Record. It just said record.
Don't tell me twice.
Damn. So I guess record.
I'm gonna listen.
So record lot.
Record lots. Yeah. That's what we do, baby.
I was saying something I can't remember now. I tried to remember, but I can't.
It might come back.
Yeah.
We'll grab a small tripod real quick.
Follow it right.
What?
Follow us right.
Oh, that's pretty disturbing.
He's using this app. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but Angel.
Angel?
Yeah.
I doubt that.
Yeah. This is definitely has nothing to do with people at all. It affects people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an influence. It's a heavy influence, and it feeds exactly like you said.
Yeah, I'm trying to see people. It's not even showing me really people. It's showing the effect that it's had on people. It's crazy.
This energy, it literally could, like I was telling the audience, what did it just say?
We're at peace.
Peace.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's not my favorite one. I don't know about it. Do you understand?
I understand.
Do you understand? It's impossible.
Impossible to understand.
Yeah.
What?
No, you just have to die.
Is that like multiple spirits kind of basically on a debate?
Could be.
More than likely.
I mean, like I said, it's possible. Could be.
Yeah. Pattern. So it's better for us to follow a pattern.
Oh, there's a pattern in how it how can I say this? It's a pattern in how it operates throughout time to get what it needs to continue to go.
Yeah. It says sense nice. Sense like sense of feel. And nice. So maybe it's sense that we're being respectful, that we're being friendly, and then pattern came after that. So as long as we maintain a high vibration,
evil.
Okay.
I drew that pattern without even looking. I didn't even kind of realize I drew it. It's like a sun.
Yeah.
With something
like an
coming
energy
out of it. Yeah.
Like an energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting a lot of mixed characters as far as think evil and nice, and it's just like when you start getting that, then we're getting manipulated emotions, and this is where I got to tell people to be careful, and why you have to be careful not to open up too much if you are tuning into this.
Yeah. Mockery.
What?
Mockery. It said mockery.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm going to take a break for a second. When he gets back, I'm going to step out and take a break and kind of ground. And then I'm going to try to like take the pen and the piece of paper, and I'm going to draw. I'm going to close my eyes and draw and see what comes out. I've never done it. It's some of the things that I've been wanting to try to do anyways.
Got it.
And
you feeling all right though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine.
You just
a little dizzy from the
chat. No, that's what I was going to say. People need to understand that psychics taking a really pretty punch out of doing this. It takes a lot out of you. So yeah, go ahead and do what you got to do, Chas.
Yeah, it said this is strange, trip and harmony. So that's what it come through. Sure.
Okay. So what? Secrets. I was just thinking that too. That's what that was saying. This entity, Primordial, is. Did it just say careful?
Yeah.
Interesting. It almost seems like it doesn't want me to talk about what it offers. or what it that's interesting. What did it say?
Let's sit and talk as I walk away.
Wow.
What'd it say?
Leave.
It said don't leave, I thought.
Don't leave.
Really?
I can't see.
It doesn't say.
I got it. If you hand me my phone, I'll tell you. My legs. He won't leave, is what
He
it
won't.
said.
Okay. Well, so Promercial said pillow. So Promercial is like grab your pillow. So Promercial is a keeper of secrets and unveils secrets of everything, the universe, the world, secrets about kings. When given offerings to this type of spirit, this is what this type of spirit would give you in return. But all that comes at a price. It just said glass thin. So I do want to make this very clear. People that want to make offerings for a spirit like this, it does come at a price. So my strong suggestion is to not work with this type of spirit.
Me.
What did it say?
The noise was me.
The noise was me.
Yeah.
I wonder what it meant by that. It just said discernment.
I heard something going off right here in my corner.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was me settling in. I've moved around a little bit to try to see if it was me, but I think that could line up with this. I'm on the fence too with this app like Chastity is.
Yeah.
I like using it because maybe there's a chance that they can throw something out that way too. I like giving them as many options as possible.
Well, what it comes down to is you take things in a grain of salt at a time, and then you also separate what's going on and to validate the messages versus what doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
So
yeah, it's like using necrophonic. You'll see there's the same repetitive little oohs and ahs, and there's also some repetitive like voices in it.
Right.
As long as you learn to decipher what the difference is, I believe it works pretty good.
Yeah.
Like this time it said Salem.
Salem. Yeah.
Well,
the only thing that's irrelevant with that I can make sense of is that my I have ancestors from the Salem witch trials. John Proctor, Sarah Good, and Sarah Osborne were my ancestors, and they were executed at the Salem witch trials.
Right. Yeah, I'm familiar.
So that's the only thing that I can make sense out of that, but I don't know what that has to do with this invocation.
Ironically enough, it was a debate on Ivy's name.
Gotcha.
We were thinking about calling her that because I love the true meaning of the name.
Gotcha. Pastor just came through.
Pastor.
Yeah.
And the
word before that was discernment, and the word before that was spread.
Okay.
So could it mean that that we're teaching people how to discern spirits?
Very possible.
Discernment is
were you talking about the offerings? What type of offerings do they accept?
So it depends on the spirit. This particular spirit, according to the knowledge that I've accumulated with Melinda, we come to find out that this particular spirit likes to take offerings like alcohol, but like fine alcohol, not like some cheap stuff, like some really fancy alcohol, things like that, tea, those types of things. It accepts stuff like that. It's not a particular spirit that, yes, it would love to take a sacrifice, but that's not what this type of spirit is. It's if you have a fine liquor, a fine cup of tea to share with it as an offering, you're going to get more than what you're bargained for in the end out of that.
So what's the repercussions?
Repercussions of working with an entity like Promercial could backfire as far as you could go blind out of nowhere for the rest of your life. there could be a repercussion that you could have a stroke or an aneurysm in your sleep.
Robinson.
We're talking fatal mistakes of working with the wrong thing. And like there was something that I read about this dark witch cult that was working with an entity called Beelzebub, a devil entity. And when conjured in the incorrect way, each witch suffered from either a massive stroke, an aneurysm, and blindness.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So there's repercussions that really, or there's karmic effect, a car accident. This all affects your karma wheel of working with the negative collective.
It makes sense. Like I'm actually starting to have an understanding that someone I know has actually summoned one of these entities.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically enough, their name came up. And
oh wow,
I'm getting other names too, like Robinson and Neil. I don't know if that's anything
Robertson.
to you.
No, not at all. Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't
What
know
about
anybody.
Randy?
No, I don't know any Randy.
Okay.
But this could also take, I mean, like I said, grain of salt, but also take consideration that this could also mean of something of what's to come. We could be approached by some people of these names, and that could mean that we could be in a certain place that was predicted to happen that haven't happened yet. So we have to understand that entities like Commercial, yeah, Commercial entity like that understands the future. So time and space is completely different when you're dealing with a higher multidimensional being.
Exactly.
So their sense of time is something that we don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
As time being an illusion, so
It said he shouts.
he shouts. That's interesting right there. Possibly compare project. That's what 3 words that came up.
Possibly compare project.
Yeah.
If you're in a hierarchy, where are you at on the hierarchy?
Many lives were lost.
Many lives were lost.
Lost. Oh, that's interesting, considering the fact that how many people probably took their own life for this spirit in the past, and how many souls it's kind of fester on.
Yeah, I'm getting like definitely a collector type vibe. But I don't know if it collects souls or if it collects fragments.
I think fragments. I think it's a collector of energy, of the left behind energy of the deceased.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. That's what I feel off this object.
This thing is definitely it hits off of heartstrings.
Yeah,
that a lot. It's got like a remorse and a playful side. So it's got that whole sad and or like that leads you from like happy kind of energy starting out to like a depression or a sadness. That I'm kind of picking up on that.
It's interesting that you're picking that up. You know why? It's because this object, what I felt around this object in the past is always these types of emotions: sadness, fear, anger, anxiety, hatred, and the list goes on. And it comes in different stages. And sometimes it'll just repeat and get repetitive and multiple patterns. But it's all these emotions, you start to feel overwhelmed by all these emotions simultaneously. And I could see why certain people that have an object as dangerous as this in their home, and they're unknowingly having this object with multiple spirits and ancient entities involved in it, what all those types of emotional energies would do to a family. What would it do to a structure of a family that isn't aware that they have an object like this sitting in their house?
It breaks it down starting with simple pleasures.
Yes.
Like it corrupts the pleasures of the mind and then it uses the pleasure for torment.
Yeah.
Like that's usually the way it starts. It starts with the strongest person and works its way down to whichever one it can get. Because if it can get the strongest bond of a family, it can break the family apart faster.
Yep, exactly. and create a dysfunctional family and just break everyone apart.
Exactly.
Is what the person does that becomes vulnerable to that influence. Their mind becomes a proxy for the negative. So then they could gaslight these emotions. So as they're doing it, they're feeding them the gas to amplify those influences, which is also giving it more food.
Exactly.
And that gives it more power to do the next stages that it needs to go through to get what it wants.
And it's really hard for us as human beings to realize this happens.
Yep.
And it's even harder to overcome, especially because it's using something you want, like anger.
Yeah.
You're angry at somebody for a specific reason and you're focused on that reason, and this person isn't seeing it. It focuses on that one thing to keep you in it. So you keep causing the problem. And for people, they get stuck in the loop where they can't let it go.
Temperatures now it's got a more higher or lower tone, so that's a temperature drop, and I noticed that I'm not hot anymore, so the temperature's starting to drop now.
Yeah, it's going down in here too.
Yeah, it got a little bit colder right here. I actually could notice. I just got Harry and channeling, and then Kim, nighttime mend. A lot of words
What's
came
that
up.
name?
There was two names that came through: Harry and Kim.
Kim. Okay. I got Eli, and my name is Ronald. I've had a bad past, seat, and float. So there's quite a few spirits around just talking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. I'm not getting anything directly from something.
Yeah.
Sentient. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
this is residual I'm feeling.
Yeah. Pam is a little bit more quiet right now, which is different. So
Are there things that provoke her that wouldn't a person would normally not think would be provoking?
so with Pam, Pam gets really standoffish very easily. So if someone were to like just stare her down in her eyes, um, it would be a form of being standoff and would be taken as a taunt. So it's just something as simple as that would be even provoking with that type of spirit. Commercial in the past, in the distant past, with people that worked with this spirit, they document that Commercial out of these many aerial spirits under King that in the Book of Solomon. So this particular aerial spirit is very aggressive, is really hard to work with. So people that have worked with Commercial, many of them have been attacked doing it. Commercial is not a very patient spirit and gets agitated very easily. So as far as the slightest thing to provoke or even accidental provocation, there's no remorse in it. So when the attack happens, Commercial doesn't back out until it succeeds with what its objective is to retaliate.
They can set it off by being up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I had threw up for like 24 hours, just constant throwing up at the toilet, I literally spent the night and most of the day the next day in the bathroom, slept on the ground and everything, just like curled up by the toilet. That was from when I just walked into the spirit and what it did to my organs. So, and then at one point I lost.
That skull.
It said what?
The last word that come out, I can't verify because he had it too close to electronics, was anvil, and then it said skull.
Skull. Interesting. I was temporarily blind for like probably 2 minutes and I lost my eyesight, and it was burning. It felt like I rubbed jalapenos in my eyes.
That's
And
crazy.
I didn't touch anything like that. And it just started happening. And I had my Ovilus running, and I was kind of freaking out, and my eyes were watering and stuff. And I was like, please give me my eyesight back. I can't see, like everything was blurring, and I couldn't open my eyes without this burningness. And I was praying to Archangel Michael to come in and intervene with what's happening. And as soon as that happened, slowly I started feeling my eyes feel better, and I was able to start seeing more. And the Ovilus said eyes burning like.
Wow.
Like it liked what it did. So that I took that as a warning. And that was when I really was being challenged by what was in this object. Look, this is what I could do to you. Basically, it was what it was doing.
I've almost been blinded by a spirit before, so I can kind of empathize with you.
Yeah, it was
not fun.
It was a little concerning, like when you're going through a situation like that, because especially when it just happens out of nowhere, and you're not touching your eyes or anything, it just happens. It's a little bit of a freak out moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd freak out too. I've been spiritually attacked by like panic attacks. It'll get in my chest and make my heart rate speed up. My blood pressure will shoot up. I've had my blood pressure get up to like 165 over 115. I've been in the hospital. I mean, and it things like that will work on you too when you're already in distress.
Yeah.
Play on that. So it's no joke, but I will say the first thing I did when I walked out of this bedroom was go eat. Like I became extremely hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I took a lot of energy just to do the little bit that I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so food is energy.
I understand that, because the draining that involves in invoking or investigating, being in a location that has high activity of spirits, it takes a lot of our energy. Our bodies are tools in the paranormal. Are probably the biggest tool out of any device is our energy, our own energy surrounding our bodies. So there's a lot of grab in that for spirits when we're working on a location. It said apocalypse.
Abundance on my end at the same time.
Wow. Well, that is interesting, considering the fact that we're talking about a new state of consciousness that our Earth is going to endure. So the end of the
drain.
Yeah, the end of the old Earth and in with the new Earth, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I'm taking that. So that makes sense. That's interesting validation that those came through at the same time.
Yeah, that kind of goes along with my belief system as well.
Yeah.
I brought my headphones. Bodies below.
Not below me.
I was just going to say I brought my headphones. So when we do the Estes session, like we're set up to do that.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to move into Spirit Box soon.
Yeah, actually I was going to talk about that.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then after we can do the Estes, but me and V could do double Estes if you want us to, since we're set up for that. Okay. And you can ask questions since you're with her, maybe. I don't know. Okay. I thought maybe that would be cool.
Well, yeah, we could do that. I could do the
box.
So I could do the questions and you guys do the answers.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, we could do that. Let me get my I need batteries for my SB7. I'll be right back.
Okay. So let's see what we got here, guys. So this is like live investigating. So when you watch a paranormal investigation show, we cut all this stuff out, all the move-ins and we're moving around and getting set up and getting ready, and all that kind of fun stuff. So, and Alexa says, Chad and I did the same thing.
That's me.
Like a week ago. Yeah, I think it could have been, it was some type of allergic reaction. I put a different thing around my eyeballs. But speaking of that, so Alexis is my sister, for those that don't know.
What came through?
Maisie, Masie.
Maisie?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of that word.
Me either.
Huh.
But we had something like that happen when we went to Madison Dry Goods for the first time. Alexis may be able to validate and tell, said healing. She said she had the same problem.
Yeah.
She had a rash with her eyes.
Oh, wow.
Coming out of Madison Dry Goods, and we didn't do anything like crazy. We just went to Madison Dry Goods, and then we drove right down to the river and saw the water, and then we left. I mean, it's only like 35, 40 minutes from the house.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. You're lucky I didn't grab a block of your chocolate in there. He's got a chocolate bar in there I wanted so bad. So I grabbed the peanuts instead. I'm going to tell you something. That stuff made me really hungry. Like, I went in there, the dinner that I ordered, I went in there for real quick when I took my break, and I just went with chopsticks.
I'm going to do a battery check on my Phasm light real quick.
Okay.
Make sure that we're okay on this.
Guys, this is a cool opportunity. I wanted to shout out Angel from Durham Paranormal. So I'm going to post links. What? Oh, he said Durham Paranormal. So I'm going to put Emily's link in the well, I can't crap.
You said shout out.
I might get you to put this links in the description for me, because I would like to put Emily's link in the chat for her cards, because I use them. And I told Angel I was going to shout him out tonight because Angel's going to help sponsor us with some equipment. So you're
that's amazing. That's so cool. Congrats.
What do you say? I understand what you say. The ghost is on board. But
well, congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, and they're such sweet people.
Yeah, they are.
And I'll be doing like commercials and stuff. So I'm going to be making some
holds darkness.
Wow.
Basement holds darkness. My basement does hold darkness. Calm down. Don't be telling people about my basement. No, I'm just kidding.
Absolutely does.
I've seen shadow figures.
Real actual apparitions.
Yeah.
In the basement. Like for real. Yeah.
Welcome to Appalachian.
Yep.
I love spending time down there.
I do not.
I've done quite a few lives down there.
Yeah.
Connie says that was a female.
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, I saw that. And that doesn't sound like a common name.
No, it sounds like an older name.
Yeah. I was just thinking that too. Alexis said, Chess, your eyes did the same thing like a week ago.
Yeah, that was, I think you were gone, but I explained that I had used a different type of makeup, and it was probably a little bit older. So I probably did it to myself, honestly. So I used some makeup, but I explained like how her eyes messed up at Madison Dry Goods, and I actually got like some type of icky too. I don't know what it was, but shout out your merch. Yeah, I will definitely shout out my merch. We got new shirts, so I like ghosts. Get your foot off my phone.
Put on your phone.
Only feet.
Put my foot on your head.
You about did the last time we talked. Don't you dare. Nobody wants to see them dogs. Put them down, please. God, for God's sakes. We ain't seeing no dogs this time. Look,
there's another. There it is, right there. Jesus. Flexina. Huh?
It said come and go.
Oh, wow. Come. Whoa. It just said dope Joe kill.
Well, okay, guys. So if we do get any other like interference where I'm kind of opening up a little bit and we got some equipment setting out, I normally wouldn't do this again, but I will say this. Less than 200 football fields this way, which makes no sense to y'all, but this way was a palliative care nursing home that my grandmother worked at. She worked there when my mama was a little girl, and she worked third shift, and my mama would spend the night on the couch at this nursing home, and they shut down half of that building. There's two buildings, an older part and a newer part that was connected by a closed-in breezeway. Natalie come through. And basically, the old part of the building got shut down early on. Even I think while my grandmother was working there, she said you would hear beats and bangs and all kinds of stuff in the other side if you walk down there. That stuff was there, and when I moved here, it was still there, and then they tore it down, and they're getting ready to put townhomes on top of where it sat.
There's a thumbs up. You see that?
Yeah. Somebody may have done it on the. If anybody put a thumbs up, let us know.
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from or how that happens. Is that place that you were talking to me about a while ago? We talked about that, I think.
Yeah, they tore it
Yeah.
down. So we have spirits that kind of come through to me and B.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So that
sometimes.
makes sense.
Yeah, the basement is not cool at all, Alexis. I'm trying to get to the merch to show y'all the new shirt she was talking about. Wonderlust said.
A moment ago, Flexina did say, I mean, it's even rude to us humans if someone stares at you. And, you know, what makes a lot of sense is you would respect a spirit how you would respect another living person. What did it say?
I remember my funeral.
Oh, wow.
I remember my funeral too.
So
No cap.
That's the shirt. I like ghosts.
Yeah, that's cool.
You can get it
That's
in
awesome.
black. But yeah, she told me to promote it, and I'll save the other ones. You can go check it out on our YouTube channel if y'all guys want.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I like the way it looks in white better. So I just featured it in white, but you can get it in multiple colors actually.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Onyx, move.
Come on.
So yeah, when it comes to spirits, whether if it's a location or object,
It just said shop.
Wow, and you're advertising your clothing. That's funny.
I'm sorry, Duran. I don't mean to keep interrupting you.
That's all right.
Please.
That's funny.
Please move forward. Press the shop button.
Yep.
That's
Look, we have
hilarious.
to lighten the mood on these. This is real heavy, but it's good to actually lighten our mood a little bit and kind of raise our vibration, because I was going real like zoned out there for a second.
Some spirits will play with you if you let them. Like they really will.
What did it say?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Mhm.
That sounds like an old name.
Yeah, that's in the Bible. Ezekiel, John. I forgot what else comes through. But anyway, sorry. What were you saying, Duran?
It's all right. It's just when it comes to a spirit of a haunted location or a spirit in an object, you want to respect those objects. You want to respect those locations, because the reason why it's just like us entering someone else's house that we don't know, and what we do there depends on based on how we treat that area is how we treat their house. So you wouldn't want a stranger coming in your house, you know, who are you? What are you doing here? And you just start stomping along, doing whatever way you want, and treating the place the way you want. There's reasons why some of these spirits that aren't really don't really necessarily mean to be malevolent, but they may act malevolent because of how you're treating the environment. They don't know who you are. They don't trust your energy. So a lot of people start getting attacked by these spirits, and then they think that they're demons. And that's where some people think that every spirit is a demon, because they keep getting attacked. But really what it is the spirits not trusting your energy, and they just want you to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So and there's a lot of that happens.
Like Trivet Clinic, that could have happened to us for sure, because it says we want to trust, you know, we need trust. And I've known people to go and get that trust and get some even more amazing evidence. Evil again. You turned it back on?
Yeah, I turned it back on.
Talking too much.
Why'd you turn it off?
I don't like that app. I don't know.
I've heard a few things that are relevant.
Yeah, it's just not my favorite.
I just haven't tested it enough to fully make that assumption.
I don't like what it does, but that's all I'm trying to say.
Let's argue about it later.
I'm not arguing about it. It's just an opinion.
I'm gonna change this light spectrum to see what green looks like with this. Let's see what green looks like. Because I mean, I got that. That's cool. All right, we're gonna switch to green right here, because I'm feeling it. Since I already got that green light from that EM pump over there anyway. So green and red, you know, they come together pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna get this spirit box going.
Okay, and I'm gonna listen, and I'm gonna type what I hear in the chat.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's see. Hey, here we go. I'm gonna sweep in reverse. Pam, are you here? Immediately, I felt a cold draft. Pam, could you announce yourself? Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm. That was loud.
Yeah, I heard that through my hand. Oh, I gotta pause this real quick. I have to really review that after this because it almost sounded like it said Horus, which is interesting because I have Horus on my wall right here, separating this doll from that doll to separate the conflict from each other. So that's interesting if that's what it said, is Horus.
Mm-hmm.
I found that really interesting. So continuing on, sorry.
Okay.
Is there anything you would like to ask?
Are there multiple spirits there? Can you communicate with us over here?
How do you feel right now, Pam? How do you feel about being here with us right now?
I'm gonna be paying attention and listening to what I say.
Do you like where you're at, Pam? Do you like to talk to other people?
There was a voice that came through right there.
Have you been feeding off of people lately? How's the audio, by the way, everyone?
Pam, can you let people know how old are you?
How long have you been with that object?
Can you give us a year? Can you give us a number?
That's something right there. But we
Yeah.
have to play it back to see it.
I got kill, stab, hidden.
Kill, stab, hidden.
Yeah, through the obulus.
Through
Proton,
the
drone. Said proton drone.
That's what's happening right now overseas.
Yeah.
Are you peaceful?
Pam, is there something you would like to ask us or something you want to say to us? This would be the time.
Would you like to give us a secret for the first time. Something a lot deeper that just joins the conversation.
It's weird, like some areas where I move the device, the voice will just like all of a sudden come, and then I try to go back to that area.
Through in a deep voice.
And as I come over here, there's a cold draft. And it's not consistent. It's like it'll be like a wave of cold air, and then it stops, and then it happens again.
Tell me your name.
That's what it was happening here.
Yeah.
I got a delay, guys. Sorry.
What's her name?
Pam, can you say my name? Could you say any of their names? That was definitely a voice right there.
It sounded like it said Walmart.
Like it said what?
David? I just heard David.
It did sound like that, huh?
Yeah, I heard Walmart before.
Whoa, did you hear that?
You don't.
I just heard a very non-human sounding voice come through, but I didn't understand it. So I'm going to turn this off.
Entity trying to speak to us that's not Pam.
So I had to stop the device.
Oh,
I just
yeah,
got the word. I just got the word stop on the Ovilus. So I'm going to stop this for now. And did you want to use any type of communication devices on your end?
I mean, we can try to do necrophonic.
Yeah.
We can do necrophonic to test the difference.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I love necrophonic. I'm almost 100% convinced it's real because I've heard direct things said to me. It's mentioned me by name. It's said things about me it couldn't have possibly known since I've downloaded the app. So okay. I really have a lot of stock in that one.
So are you turning on necrophonic?
Yeah.
So the way that necrophonic's supposed to work is the man that made it is it's only supposed to go like oohs, ahs, when you hear that and kind of those.
I explained it earlier.
Okay, well that's not actual communication. It's you're listening for
whispers and staticky spirits, things that sound very echoey, like ethereal almost, like out of the ordinary from those sounds. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a whisper. You're gonna hear it as like a whisper.
And we can try this for like 3 to 5 minutes, see how it works, and then see what we get, guys. If you're listening and you hear something, let us know in the chat. Did that just brighten on its own, or did you do that?
No, the button was on, and I wanted to know what it was.
Okay,
I realized.
So, basically, y'all let us know if you hear anything in the chat. I did get some things interesting. So if you look back through the chat here, it says with us battle watching was a deep voice. When y'all said something about somebody joined something dark join. We got animals.
That was a big shift. My dog's right here and the cat's upstairs.
Do you know that for sure?
Yeah. He jumped up there before we started.
Well, I think he jumped down actually too, though. So it's not we can't say for sure. I'm pretty sure he jumped down, but when he said something, join the chat. It's something dark. Voice said watching.
I was that by any chance. I'm sorry to interrupt. Was that by any chance that this? Because I said I think I just heard a very unhuman voice come through.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I'm not sure. It could have been, but me listening on YouTube, I can kind of hear y'all mumbling, and then I had to like listen past that because there's like a 5 or 10 second delay. So I was doing it live with the audience rather than us, if that makes sense. So I couldn't. Yeah. It was kind of hard. But the last two things that I got was burn them down, the family. Burn them down. That's what these dark things do. The first thing that happens is they want to tear down the family system.
Family structure. Yep. That is 100%.
So we'll go ahead and run the necrophonic for 3 to 5 minutes. Let's see if we can get some of the same responses, or more responses. Guys, y'all feel free to ask questions. And it said to hush Mikey.
Really?
Mikey's Hauntings was watching earlier. I know we've had a lot of people go in and out, but I don't know if he's still here.
Is Pam here with us now? See, that's not a spirit. Those little sounds are not spirits.
It's making that licking sound again.
Yeah.
Devil.
Brushy mountain.
Here.
Is Pam here? Yes.
Is it? Yeah. Got you. Help.
Oh, that sounds disturbing.
I've heard that before. I wonder if that was old girl out on the porch.
Kill one? You kill one? Are you plotting to try to hurt us later? Listen.
I heard listen for sure.
Decide.
I am deciding. That's basically I am decide.
Are you okay with communicating with us?
Hell.
The help.
Help. That sounded like somebody said, and I'll have to go back and listen to the audio, but it sounded like somebody graped me.
You're pretty.
Julia.
Who?
Arguing. Her. Yep.
The growl.
Disrespect. Woman.
Can you tell me what my name is?
No. Pull up a recorder.
Do you know what her name is? What recorder?
You're recording.
I'm recording right now.
That's worth trash. I need audio. Play.
Porch objective.
I'll tell you a story about the porch in a second.
Okay.
Don't let me forget. Listen. We don't do this in the house, so.
What's your name?
Meow. It meowed like a cat.
It said Pam.
Wow.
That was Pam.
I heard a growl.
What are you doing? Not much. What are you doing?
How many spirits are here with us, or is it just Pam here?
Both.
Both. I'm getting a temperature change.
Me too. It's getting cold. That was a whole sentence.
Yeah.
Can you say something on this and then say something directly on Durant's?
That's a great question.
Get up. I help you. There was something demon.
Wow.
Baby.
What was that? That was from him. That was from him. That wasn't from this, was it?
What did you hear?
Chat, help us here. Could you? I heard a baby, but it didn't sound like it was coming from the speaker next to my head. Don't stop that. You just stopped it by going out of it.
I just wanted to see if it. No, it's still recording.
Was that on Duran's end or our end? Could y'all tell the difference? We got plenty of phones. You don't have to go out of this. Keep this running.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is there's no babies over here. So
yeah, I want to see if y'all got any thoughts here.
However, always.
Oh, you cut yours off.
Yeah, I stopped it because I'm asking a question to the chat. Can't tell. Have to look it over again. Okay.
Yeah, we'll go over it again.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what her name is? Do you need help?
Trying to think of a question.
Whoa.
Related to something we've asked.
Is there someone you're targeting right now?
What's your goal?
Sound like insect or portal?
Portal.
Is there a portal open for you to travel through?
It said boy.
Whose boy?
Wait. I hear a little boy voice. Did you hear that?
Said boy.
So that's where things get a little sinister, is when you start hearing children, because
boy.
aura.
I'll pause it. It wouldn't surprise me that if there are children spirits here. My son's been having stomach problems. We actually have to have a light run down his throat on the 7th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he has been sensitive. He's the one that would see spirits in the past.
Okay.
But the same night at Trivet Clinic, when this necrophonic app said Duran, I think it said it on necrophonic. It either said it on necrophonic or on the SB7 here.
It was necrophonic. But
it said Duran, which your name is pretty unique. And then it said my son's name, Aiden, twice.
Yeah. So it's calling out names of people that are associated with you.
This was at Trivet.
Meaning it's either intelligent, as in it knows the people, or it is some kind of like recorded word bank somehow. And looking at the script of people who's went through it, like the actual like coding script, there's nothing in it that does that. It's just making like noises and stringing them infinitely together. And it only does it whenever there's like surges. So like if you put something next to it that causes EMF, then it could possibly like open it up and make them be able to use it even more.
Right. And we're recording this on like a voice recorder app from now on for anything. That way we can go back and listen with higher quality than, because we have a night vision camera on us, but the quality, the audios, you just can't really hear anything.
This is
when it said portal, it could be also referring to portal device. And I have that right here beside me. So I do plan on bringing that out too.
Okay.
So
yeah, we can go ahead and stop there. If you want to bring out the portal, that's cool.
Okay.
And then we can finish off with Estes. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Quick intermission real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. So I was thinking about an hour ago, I was alone at the yoga studio watching. Interesting. It's interesting, Connie.
The ghost took B's place for now while he's gone.
There you go.
Well, you could use that phone and pull up the SLR and see.
It's his turn.
Oh yeah, duh. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah.
No worries.
It could have said feed for sure, Flexina. Yes.
Let's see. Here we go.
That's creepy, Connie.
All right. You know what's crazy is this is the most quiet I've ever so I've investigated Pam many times, and this is the most quiet I've seen her with REM pod devices. Usually,
Really?
usually Pam loves interacting with REM pods, but for some reason, Pam is not wanting to interact with the REM settings.
Maybe because the energy spreading out from both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, Mikey, by the way, if you're watching now, I just saw you comment. It said your name on one of the devices. I can't remember which one. It said your name.
Okay, I'm gonna be activating this. Let's see. That's right now. All right. Pam, does this device work more easier for you? Is this an easier way of communication for you? Were you just over there in North Carolina communicating with Chas and V? Can you confirm that?
Wish you wouldn't have brought that in.
I need to ask you something. Did you blow up my battery in that bag that was right by your case? Did you drain the batteries out of the light in your case? Did you need that energy?
Put my headphones on the phone so I can be with everybody else.
Okay.
It just did chat.
Tremor. It said tremor.
It'll work with all the devices you have on the device.
Barely.
Pam, can you come through and say something?
Hear it.
Can you interact with any of these devices, please? All you got to do is come close to it. You can change the colors. You want me to adjust the range setting? Since you're in the case, maybe you feel more comfortable to be able to reach it that way. Turn it up one notch.
able to use. Yeah. Before the end of the any aliens here?
Can you tell us what you are?
Soul.
Can you explain to us what you are in a word or two?
Your noise reduction back a little bit.
I'm sorry?
Can you adjust your reduction a little?
That's not an option for this.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one's it won't cut out as much frequency.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a more lower quality porting device.
Trust me, I feel I got one. Basically, guitar pedal into a guitar. So
yeah.
Bought it for a spirit box into it.
Pam, there's probably stuff you're saying and I'm not picking it up, so I'll have to listen later. But regardless if I could hear you or if anybody else can, is there anything you want to say to the world? Do you want to continue communication? That's me. Can you move that pendulum above you?
For a second.
Please.
Need to stretch it. Can't we do that? Pick it up.
I heard murder.
We're here at one.
I heard positive.
What made you choose that? Do you like where you are right now?
I could have sworn I heard I do.
Are you? Can you see me? Can you touch my pod? Do you like animals? Can you tell me your name?
Can you give us a name? You can interact with one of these REM pods. I got an EM chip right there. You could use that energy to activate one of these REM pods.
You on the planet? Oh, do you come from this realm?
I don't.
Were you born in darkness?
translate.
Are you trying to create hell on earth? Do you like pain?
Oh, wow. I don't know if I said that. That was clear too. Sound like two different spirits right there.
Yeah. Do you like to make people sad?
Wow, it just said I'm sad before you finish that.
You sad?
Ocean.
What makes you sad? What can you do to make you not?
Really sad.
I'm sad too.
Can you tell us what I am pointing at right here? What's inside this case? What is the primary object in this case? Oh, Duran.
It did say Duran.
Yeah. It could be answering a question I've asked a long time ago.
What do you want with it? Do you respect her? Probably be a playback there.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of shit that came through.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, what the hell? Work recused molecules.
Are you considered an interdimensional being? Are you okay where you're at? Do you need help? Like I said, execute.
Wow. You know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to leave this running. You could continue asking questions, V. I'm going to take this off of the tripod, and with the energy of my hand, the contact with this device, I feel like it's going to have a more deeper connection.
Okay.
I have to adjust the, you know, change the
Also,
sensitivity.
Anybody want to ask any questions in the chat to the spirit box? Ask. Feel free to ask away. I'll keep an eye on that too as well. Definitely like to involve you guys too, because it definitely looks like we're getting results coast to coast like we wanted, and that's actually showing up now.
Yeah. See, I knew it. It wanted me to hold the device, and this happened before when I was at Darling. The same thing. And like I was saying, our bodies are the most powerful tools during investigation. So the connection of me holding it is personal.
Yep, exactly right.
It did not want to interact with it on a piece of equipment. It wanted to interact it with it in my hands.
Wow, that went off.
Yeah, and then it stopped.
Yeah, which shouldn't be the case in your hand.
Right. I've hit the REM 0 button too to clear it. So can you go higher than blue, Cam? Can you hit that light higher than blue?
Take it all away.
Can you take it all away?
To the red.
Can you put that light all the way to the red? Can you please show the world that you could intelligently make that light reach the red and show the level of intelligence involved. Can you reach it past blue?
Can you speak a clear name into the portal?
Can you get it past blue? Or do you really like blue? I heard I don't.
It might not be strong enough to push it past the blue.
That could be it right there.
Or it's trying to conserve its energy.
Do you need me to go closer? Are you having a hard time, Pam? If so, can you give me 2 blinks for no and 1 blink for yes? Are you having a hard time?
You have red hair. Favorite color?
Can you get that light past blue, Pam? Please? Can you do that?
What, Chess?
What I just did is I switched to my right hand because this is your give out arm. So I'm giving out energy as like an antenna rather than using my receiving hand. Let's see if this makes any difference. Does this help? Oh my gosh, it's so staticky around my hand.
Are you okay with this kind of experimentation? Does this hurt you? Does it cause you physical pain to contact?
Is it difficult to go past the blue mark?
I heard it is.
Yeah. I find it so crazy. It's like a clean barrier where it will not and it refuses to go past blue.
Bring it further away from it. It could be something in the area that's affected.
I'm gonna re-zero it right now.
No, wait. Keep it. Keep coming back with it. It's still doing blue.
I was just doing like green.
How far away is it from that microphone?
Microphone? Oh, the microphone's, it's not even doing anything
Yeah,
different.
it won't even load out. Yeah, that's pretty safe to say it's in the area.
Yeah, and that's what I like about the millimeter is it has a hard time getting contaminated. I could have a phone call and it wouldn't even contaminate this device.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like the K2. You have the K2, so the cell phone goes off 10 feet away from you, and that thing will go off like crazy. This is definitely probably one of the most recommended EMF detectors because of that. But it's a little pricey, unfortunately. But you get what you pay for with this.
That's very true. I'm starting to learn that.
Yeah.
Don't mess with cheaper REM pods. They're not worth it.
Well, those come in handy if you set it and forget it in like long hallways where you know you're not going to be around.
True.
So, but if you have a clusterfuck of like a bunch of other devices, the millimeter's safe to work around those devices.
It would have been nice to have one of those in Brushy Mountain.
Yeah.
Didn't have hardly any signals. I was self-reliant on like Necrophonic and our old school REM pods and things like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, to pick up.
All right. So I'm gonna come closer. Pam, can you reach a higher color than blue? Are you going to be able to do that tonight? And if not, that's fine. But if you could do that, that would be great. I find that really interesting that it just stopped.
Yeah. Pam, I have a really important question for you. Why are you doing this?
I keep trying to re-zero it and it's fighting it. It's just solid green.
Why do you want to possess a doll?
I just got 0.1 milligauss, so a tiny hit just hit just now.
Chad says she's dizzy right now.
Dizzy?
Yeah.
Is she grounding herself right now?
Yeah. She's talking about clearing it out now. Tina said she heard possess.
Poses?
So, do you want to possess someone's soul?
Oh, whoa. I got a 0.1 spike. And now it's gone. It disappeared.
Said adios.
Dude, that milligauss hit just disappeared along with the REM hit. That's crazy. There's a draft right here in this corner. And that's where the EM pump is over here. Oh! 0.6. 0.7.
Too, Connie. I have a pressure in my third eye.
0.5.
This.
0.5. That is, it went all the way up to 0.7.
Nice.
And I just got a cold draft hitting me. 0.4. It's slowly going down. 0.3. I could feel you here. 0.5. Are you standing right here? Are you hanging around here? My arm is tingling. 0.3. I appreciate this interaction. 0.3, 0.2. It's going back and forth. Wow. Wow, that's insane. So right now it's at 0. There's no milligauss hit now. So whatever was right here next to this tripod, literally right here, it was hitting up to a 0.7. And I'm no longer getting that now. That's so insane. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm going to... what's that?
It's not a continuous thing, then that's a pretty good clear-cut sign.
Right, that's insane. I'm going to turn this off real quick. And I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to change devices. Oh, I kind of have to pretzel my way over here. So I got a tri-field meter. So I'm going to see if this will get some of that same interaction with the milligauss hit. So this is the milligauss. So this is going to be the baseline. I don't know if you can see it. Pretty bright screen. So this is a lot more sensitive, so I can't get so close to certain devices. But what's cool about the tri-field is that you could also check for any type of electrical contamination that has that setting to find that and map it out in the environment.
Cool.
So I'm going to test this milligauss read object over here. So it's baselined right now at 0.1. So the milligauss read differently a lot on the millimeter. The millimeter, a 0.1 would equal to like, versus this device, it would be like 10.0 on here for every 0.1 on the millimeter. If that makes sense. So and you got to be really steady with this device, because if you shake, look how sensitive it is. I don't know if that shows. It jumps just by shaking it. So I got to be very still. So I'm not getting anything more than 0.4. So 0.4 so far is the highest read that I get on here. But that seems pretty stationary for this right now. I feel like that is the baseline bit, so it's not a spike really. What's also cool is that it also records your highest spike. So the highest spike that I've gotten so far was a 0.8. 0.9 hit.
Spike that meter for him. Spike that meter one time off the chart.
Can you get higher than that 0.7? Can you just touch this device? If you don't want to touch it, I'm not going to mind. This is all up to you. If you want to establish communication, if you could touch this device, I would greatly appreciate it.
Touch it. Touch it. Touch it.
If you want to touch that REM pod, or if you could touch this tri-field meter, I'd be appreciated.
Something tells me there's nothing with chastity right now.
Yeah, I feel like the activity, the communication's getting weaker. I feel like it used a lot of juice to do those milligauss hits.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I feel like. Let's see what this Ovulus has been saying. It only said 2 more words after it said molecules. It said Tina again and zinc. So
I've often wondered if zinc would be a good element to include when communicating with spirits.
Yeah, I wondered the same thing too, because I've gotten the word zinc a lot of times.
I mean, it also has a conductive property, and if it can be conductive, then it could also be used metaphysically.
Right. And I don't know if anybody's ever thought about that.
Probably. If I thought about it, that's the way I look at it. If I can think of it, somebody else has already thought of it.
And, I'm sure that people back then, centuries ago, probably knew of that. Yeah. They probably used those types of things, those properties, to communicate with the other side.
100.
But, people today, we don't think about that type of stuff as much.
Yeah. Well, we tabooed it for a reason, because not everybody needs the information that you can get from them.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of information that could be used in the wrong hands, and then they use it to harm other people.
Right. And I mean, it also comes to the philosophy, not all of us can be football players.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, some people can handle it, some people can't. Everybody has the ability to open their third eye. Not everyone should.
Yep. No, there's also I've heard in cases where people have opened their third eye and never were able to close it.
Yeah, like me. I know that feeling.
So I've heard of that.
I can't say that anymore. I've been a little better about it. It takes years if you're somebody that opens it without control, or that had it from like a younger age.
I've heard of people doing that with psychedelics, where they open it too much and then they literally lose their mind because they've opened their third eye too much.
Yeah. Psychedelics actually saved me, like, with that. Like, it actually gave me the ability to feel it, like the opening and closing of. Like, without that, I probably wouldn't be able to turn certain things off. And it can be maddening. Like, the first 2 or 3 years, mine was like in full, like, open. Like, we had a lot of times like that were bad. Like, I was susceptible to all kinds of energies, like very negative, and just not so great.
About Phil.
Yeah, control is important, and that's with anything. You want balance in your day-to-day life.
About Phil, you got a foot shot. That was free. My dirty hippie feet.
So I got a lot to look over.
That's cool. Spooky.
That was it's my ghost, first of all. Second of all, I finally, after 7 years, won the gift bag on Paranormal Files. And this is one of the things that came in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn this on since about done with the invocation right now. I believe that the energy has subsided, kind of went to sleep.
Well, while I was listening, I agree with you. But while I was listening, I wrote a lot of words in the chat. I took a break, rested my back, laid flat because my back started hurting really bad during that. And it said Estes.
Estes, gotcha.
It was
so that's actually an important thing. I was actually going to ask you. So it said President's Beast. And remember, I was telling you about like hierarchies, how anything for like if it's like a president, a king, you're talking about like devil or further.
So a beast could also be a superpower or a nation.
Flexina, did you just hear a whisper now?
My head just discombobulated.
Yeah, that's how I'm dizzy.
Like straight up, this ear's deaf and this ear's like way more open than it normally is. Quit.
Pull it off, damn it.
Don't pull it off.
Like a black hole right there into the hand.
Yeah, I'm good.
When you guys are talking about the third eye, okay.
So on the Estes session, before we get started with that, so do you want to continue with me? Just ask the questions, and then both either one of you are going to be dropping the answers.
Yeah,
or what the responses are.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe we turn the volume down here so we can't hear you at all.
Okay.
And or very minimal, and we'll run the Estes for about 3 to 5 minutes and kind of regroup and see. Wanderlust says pluck him. That's
yeah.
We have the SB7, so we can run. I'm gonna get you to run the SB7, and I'm gonna run Necrophonic.
Yeah, let's do it. And so
I'm not good with the SB7 though. Like I'm not good at hearing the words as well. But
you will be, because I'm gonna set it up right.
Yeah. We'll set it up.
My brain can't. It's drained me. I ain't gonna lie. I'm completely. This is aggravating now. I'm completely drained. I really am. It's made me sleepy. I'm like.
Yeah.
I didn't even do my drawing either. I forgot to do my automatic drawing, but I might have to try that again later.
Yeah.
I definitely feel the drain, because I started feeling like that when I was standing here in the corner and getting those hits, and I kept feeling like a static, like I had like my whole right arm turned into like a static television, like that staticky like hit. It was hitting me, and then I was getting all these milligauss hits that went up to a 0.7 on my millimeter, which is really high.
Yeah, that is high.
So and then it would go down, and then it would go up, and I wasn't even moving for a long time, and it was doing that. I was just skyrailing up and skyrailing down, and I was getting the hits. It was steady for a while, and then eventually the hits just muted.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I think it was just either what ran out of energy, or it just was done with that device and it wanted to move on.
I could tell that Pam stepped back, just touching into that energy, because it is an energy, 100%. And you could just 100% tell, for me at least. What's up, Doom? By the way, I wrote it in the chat, but that's me. That's not V. I've got his phone in front of me. Welcome in.
What's up, Doom?
Yeah, so we got 8 people left for the folks. we're getting ready to do the Estes session for anybody that's new coming in. So we've been kind of live, going back and forth for the last few hours.
Yep.
This is kind of the finale. So
a lot of reviewing.
Yeah.
And by any chance, are you capable or able to remix some of my videos too? So like, so it'd just be me, huh?
Yeah, because
Okay.
if we were able to get the stream
Yeah.
on both channels, I could have. I mean, I
Gotcha.
can by screen recording. I won't be able to
Okay.
remix, but I
Gotcha.
can actually I can
Yeah,
make screen recordings.
yeah, I was gonna say, because I would like for you, and you got my permission of this, for you to be able to screen record some great findings that deal with like your psychic impressions, and you could use those on your channel.
Okay, thank you.
So and because this experiment is something we're doing together. This isn't just my experiment, this is our experiment.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that. And I can
yeah.
say about, I feel the same way that I would if I was on location, pretty much, by just allowing myself to tap into this energy.
Yes.
Because it doesn't really, this goes to show you, no matter where you are, it doesn't matter. If you tap into something, it can tap back into you. 100%.
Yep. And that's why it's when you are driving an interest in the paranormal, even watching paranormal shows, be cautious of how you the level of respect and the level of intentions that you're putting into that show, because some of the stuff is it could be like some of these locations that some of these people go to are real locations. There's real things that are probably imprinted there energetically. There's Solstice and Sandy just came through. Interesting. Well, yeah, that's
during the solstice.
Yeah.
Yeah, spirit are terrific, I'm pretty sure.
That's
I know
crazy.
somebody named Sandy. Well, that's not his real name, but
oh, Sandy.
So
Sandy.
But really what it all has to do with is all just intention. What's the individual's intention and what they're watching, and it's what drives back to them based on their attention. You know, some people really thrive off the fear of what they're watching, and they're going to receive that fear that
100%.
they're going to get. You know what I mean? They're going to attract. That's the law of attraction.
Correct.
So
it's a good opportunity for me to say this because the people that I work with and everything, residual energy is a real thing, and our residual energy that we that's in our homes, that's around our environment, it can interact with us. Like, it is not just because, think of it as piled up dust that can actually interact with you. So if you're not clearing your space and you're having anxiety, you know, it can even come from years and years and years ago from somebody else. You're actually feeling that energy, depending on how much was put in that environment. And entities and beings or spirits that come through, they can actually interact.
What was that? I heard that.
Kitty, 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 kitty. Yep, cat's right there.
Nope.
Dog's right there. That was in our bathroom.
No,
oh, wow.
Sounded like the bathroom to me.
That was all the way in the kitchen. It could be the turtle.
It could have been the turtle, but the turtle
don't.
But the turtle's in hibernation, and turtle don't knock that loud normally.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard it loud through my headphones on my end.
It was a pop, like some type of plastic Tupperware or something, but we don't have anything lidded right now that I know about.
That's crazy.
No, but I do want to say this, like I personally do, like, I don't like the idea of the law of attraction. Yeah, that's crazy. I've never really believed in the law of attraction.
I thought the cat was over there.
I kind of think it's, well, I mean, it's real, but like the wording is wrong. I think it's more like the law of thought.
That is part of the law of attraction.
Because it has to do with a thought process, like a constant dreaming thought. Come on. We done woke his slumber. He's ready to terrorize.
He wants my dried cranberries. He can't have them.
What are you doing, boy?
Y'all, the reason you see me eating so much is not to be rude.
It's your energy. Keeping your energy levels maintained. It's explainable. So my thing with the law of attraction is based off it really corresponds with the law of correspondence. So like basically the energy you projecting out is energy you're getting back. Law of attraction is pretty much very similar. It's you're going to attract what you're giving out.
Yeah, like a magnetism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're that's part of the law of free will is you have the will to decide what you're going to attract around your energy.
Yes.
It's up to you. What are you going to do with that energy? What are you going to do with that word you're saying? What are you going to do with that emotion? How are you going to be able to control it? The law of attraction falls deeply within that.
Yes, exactly. If you're depressed, you will attract those types of emotions, feelings, and thoughts from others or the environment or spirits. You know, Doom said, I had an experience. I felt a claw on my back. That's freaky deaky. Definitely clear your space, Doom.
Yeah.
Make sure you're keeping your vibration high, because when we are on the lower spectrum, like of vibration, and we stay that way, that's when we can start having experiences, whether they're psychic experiences or real like physical paranormal experiences. It could be one or the other.
Absolutely.
So sending you much love and light, Doom. Stay safe out there, man, because just keep that vibe high.
Yep. So you want to try this Estes session out? I'm really curious about this.
Yeah. Yep. He's set up, and I'm going to run necrophonic. So we know what necrophonic is. He's going to run the SB7, just for people that may not know. Emily was very kind and generous to give me this this was a present to me. Emily's always been very kind with giving me little gifts and stuff. This is a big gift. He was going to get another one, she said. So she did give this to us. So thank you, Emily, again. I said it once in our videos, but I just wanted to say it again if she's watching. She was going to try to tune in tonight. Unfortunately, she couldn't. She had to go to a family function. But
Gotcha.
this runs through radio stations. Okay.
I keep feeling like something's moving around behind me, and I turn around and there's nothing there. I'm looking on this camera. I'm not seeing the same movement that I'm seeing behind me.
Is it like a shadow that's
yes
that much higher than your head? I see it psychically, and it's
I haven't been saying anything about it, but I've been seeing it the whole time.
Really?
Yeah,
dude, it's by driving
light blinking on and off.
It's like it's kind of fucking with me, lightweight, because it's like distracting, and I feel like that's like the purpose of it.
Pam.
Yeah.
No,
that's something else.
That's Angela.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been like kind of like trying to throw me off and distract me, and I keep like I'm listening, and then I'm seeing that at the same time, and it's trying to throw me off of what you guys are talking about.
Yeah. All right, let me get me a back pillow here.
So I got shoulder focus. Isn't that interesting? Over my shoulder, I was seeing the shadow.
And
I'm losing focus because of that. Literally just that shoulder focus. That's crazy.
That's true. Yeah. Keep your eyes behind Duran as we do this, because what are you doing? Well, I ain't putting no blindfold on.
I don't know if this is going to come in clear. It says shoulder focus. It's so fuzzy. I think it's because the lights are dim.
Does it say body on the bottom?
No, it's sandy still.
Oh, sandy. Okay. Yeah, it's fuzzy.
Oh, it just said follow sell.
What? Follow? You cut out what?
It said follow and sell.
Huh. All the animals were up here with us. The kitty's laid up here with us now. The doggy's here. Waiting on Nick to come back.
Okay, so this
sorry. It's fine.
So this is going to be actually my first Estes session with anybody, because I've never done this on site.
Okay.
So this is going to be pretty cool. I'm actually pretty interested.
No, Kitty about just knocked our whole rig down.
I do want to say thanks to everybody, like all 8 of you that made it this long.
Yeah, this far in. That's awesome.
So I guess I'm one of those 8 since I'm on the chat too. That's pretty awesome. You guys are always great supporters.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, y'all make it worth it for real. That's why I'm about to do this
Mhm.
blindfolded.
Let's see how big his head
Yes.
is. If it fit.
Let's see how much of a wussy I am.
It fit.
Nice.
My head is not that big. This blindfold was brought to me by Alexis herself.
Yep.
Don't be jelly, Riley.
All right, guys. So I'm turning. He's going to ask the questions. Okay, honey. Bye, Flexina. Get you some rest.
Night,
Get
Flexina.
heels.
Thanks
Oh,
for
Lord.
coming.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you
it.
for coming. All right, so I'm going to mute, basically turn the volume all the way down. We're not going to be able to hear. No, I'm not doing it. It's fine. It's fine. Let me give you the device.
Reverse, please. It works better for me in reverse.
You say that. But...
Reverse sweep. Yeah.
And actually, while you guys do that, do you want me to face Pam and ask these questions?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Guys,
So I was
if
thinking
you've
about
got
doing
any
that,
questions in the chat, let Duran know too. He can probably keep a little peeky eye on that. I'm turning everything down now, so I can't hear anything else.
Greg just came through.
You've only got one bar left.
Could just came through.
So I'm used to my other headphones.
You're not going to have time. Is.
Pam, are you here?
Come play F word. He's sick.
Pam, can you say my name?
Guilt.
Who was standing behind my shoulder? Can you tell me?
Dad.
Kill.
Holding.
You.
Is there anything you want to say to me?
Need help?
What do you need help with?
Bill.
One.
No.
Weak.
Who's Bill?
B word.
I'm trying.
Get me in you. Kid, we got a perv.
Who's coming through? Who is this?
Boy. Pain.
Is this spirit that's speaking associated with you, Pam?
Northwest. Guilt. Bad.
Prayer.
Something about getting the door.
Pam, do you feel my energy field?
There's a Greek.
Say it again.
Pam,
Dream.
do you feel my energy field?
Here. Boy. Jed. Dean. They're here.
How many spirits are here?
Dumb. Something on my leg. Disrespect.
Who's touching Chastity right now?
Something you hurt me.
I just got 50 on the Ovilus.
Fall.
Hello.
Pam, can you announce yourself?
Fools. That was a whole sentence. Something stop immediately. Same voice in the man. Same voice. He's talking way too fast.
Whose? That's what came through the Ovilus.
Blow.
Pam, can you explain what represents
Serve.
who you are?
I'm controlling.
That is.
Are you comfortable in your case?
Stay here.
Is there anything you would like to share with the world?
Yes, ma'am.
After.
To Candy, I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
No, you don't.
All right, I can hear you, Duran.
Okay.
Anything making sense?
Yeah, some of it. I'm wondering how many spirits are. So I just got beware through the Ovilus. So, and then also it said 50 when I was talking about asking how many spirits were involved.
Okay. You want to switch?
No, stop.
Do you want to switch?
Not in those.
So it just said beware inner.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Here.
So that was a pretty disturbing conversation. And it didn't sound like anything of the positive in that conversation.
Right. And there was a man that come through that had the same voice, and he spoke 2 full sentences, but it was way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try. You can try with me if you want, or whatever you want to do here. I'm gonna try I'm gonna try to get something through this box.
Okay.
I seem to be a little bit better at listening. There's only 1 bar left, so it might die, but maybe just for like a minute or 2 longer, just to see.
Yeah.
I forgot I didn't need jack for this. I could just Bluetooth in and use the noise canceling, so that'll help me because all I could hear was you. It was really hard to hear.
Well, then maybe I should just do this and you ask questions.
I need to get some kind of overdrive thing for it.
We'll figure that out. Let's get through this.
Headphones.
You maybe just let me do this part then, and you ask questions what I'm saying. Because I'm
all right. Have a great night, Flexina. Thank you for joining, sticking around for this long.
You don't want me to do this?
It's up to you if you want to. I'm just saying you may want to ask questions. I would rather,
because I have some good ones with necrophonic. I can hear necrophonic better. So we might get a better response, actually.
All right, turning it down. We'll do it just for a couple minutes and see if we get anything else. I want to see if we can get it to make some sense.
Okay.
All right, volume's down. I don't ever sweep backwards.
Yeah, sweeping in reverse helps me.
Sweeping forward.
Pam, what is your origin?
Oh.
You will die God.
I forgot.
Can you tell us your story?
She will run. Help.
How many spirits
Leave.
are associated with you? How long have you existed in the
Something
universe?
very.
I'm on the seal. It's over.
How long have you existed?
God.
No peace. Out.
What do you want, Pam? What would you like?
So I keep hearing that over and over again.
Do it again,
What would you like, Pam?
please.
Is there something you're looking for?
What?
What are you looking for, Pam?
15.
Where'd he go?
Can you say my name?
I'm the only one.
Commercial, are you in charge of this object?
It's a very weird voice. Couldn't make it out. Scream.
Commercial, where do you come from?
The light.
True.
What kind of light? What source of light are you associated with?
This is your final opportunity to say something, because this ain't going to happen again in my house. So you better make it worth it.
This is your chance. This is your time.
In my head right here, like twirling my
Pam,
hair.
if you would like to say something, could you please say it now?
Spirit box. Emit. Do not. Something odd.
Have to wait. Hold on.
Do you remember moving that selenite stick during that live in 2022?
Maybe.
You moved it right by your foot away from you.
It's like, hold on to me.
Gee.
It's too hard to hear. It sucks. Okay. I turned my volume back up.
Okay.
I'll leave him in if he wants to stay in.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Close.
this device, when it's seeking and you are on the Estes, it is very, very hard to hear.
Gotcha.
You can have the volume all the way up, but
Pam,
yeah.
Can you name the person wearing those headphones and that is blindfolded? What is his name? Satan just came through.
Nick.
He just said his name.
Man, wow. So, Pam, could you explain? It said became before. That's crazy. It's almost like it's trying to answer something before I ask it.
Who has a I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Demon. Why is there a dent on?
All right, don't use my voice.
Why is there a dent?
So, what's the origin, Pam? How did you get involved with this doll? How did a spirit like yourself get involved with this doll? Discernment.
Yes.
Rebecca.
Let's do it. Evil.
Are you talking about a memory that happened of how you came about in this object?
You couldn't see me coming.
Wow.
Interesting.
Listen.
I have some thoughts, is what I was going to say, but I'm going to wait.
Okay.
Everything. Ignored the.
Are you here?
I couldn't make it out.
Are you here to teach humans a lesson?
Face going crazy. Hard to make out.
I'm going to push some light into the room.
Yeah.
Don't.
Watch me.
Look.
Pam, what are you trying to tell us?
Anything on.
Over.
On.
She's over it. Because
Pam, can we speak to you?
Do it.
Any other spirits that are associated with you? Can you retract them back to the doll? Can we speak to you? Do you want to speak? And if you want to speak, is there something you could tell us?
Nick. Phone service?
I feel a retraction of energy right now.
Yeah.
Feels a lot clearer in here, but I did bring in light.
Pam, did you not want to interact with the RAM pod?
100%, Mikey. Pam is no joke. It's crazy.
Also, I got a lie coming through the ovulus. And that's another thing I was telling people about. Be careful because it likes to twist truth and lies all together. So that's why discernment kept coming up on this device. So that definitely would make sense.
False.
Wow. There it is right there.
You want to stand up against me. What?
Pam, do you represent false light?
Can't make that out.
It sounds like a bunch of screaming growl.
I'm not afraid of your voice. Talk to me.
Was not happy with me bringing in the light.
It was them. I made you.
Are you taking pieces of human souls?
It out, Dad.
Commercial, what is your agenda?
I'm hearing some weird stuff come through these headphones.
We're right here.
I'm gonna pull him out soon.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, but my mind's blank.
Yeah, I've had a few focus problems.
Whoa. Ooh, there's something demonic here.
It's not here, it's everywhere.
Jazz. What time? Look away. Sick. Push.
That's freaky.
I heard a whistle. Did that come? It came from your end. Did you hear it?
It could have been through his head. They're so loud in his headphones. That could be why.
It's possibly. Yeah, it's possible.
Did you knock on my sister's door 6 times today?
What? That's what I heard.
Wow.
Cat might be in there though, actually, but I heard something in there because the cat's doesn't move. Cat.
Invite me?
No, you're not invited in my home. Yeah. Haunted objects. And we can bring... thing about haunted objects is the more intent we put in on an object, a spirit can step into that place too. So
next time.
That's the interesting thing about objects. Is like trying to like if I ask, if I start to try to investigate this, for example, a spirit can come up and latch onto it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. That's the interesting thing about objects. It's so weird. It's a totally different ball game than like haunted places and haunted like people that are having hauntings.
Prepare. Bad things.
What do we need to prepare for? What kind of things?
Bad things coming. What kind of things? For society?
Fact. You want to be the... I couldn't make it out. Pressure. Believe. Peace.
That was weird.
Can't.
The screen was glitchy a little bit.
Go on. He's going.
All right, we're gonna have to say bye now.
Yeah, we're gonna close this out.
Dude, that's weird. I'm hearing like some foreign language now.
Oh, there's 1,000 possibilities of spirits.
I gotta get out.
Yeah,
connected.
I was literally getting ready to tap. I literally had my hand right here.
Yeah.
He said, "I gotta get out."
No, hang on. You're gonna say this as soon as I get ready to get off. Say it again.
What are you trying to say?
Say what you said again, please.
Pam, this is your chance. Because we got to go. We got to wrap this up.
Okay,
we're going to close this out peacefully.
Wait till you watch that back. Yeah.
You all right, V?
Yeah.
Feeling a little drained, probably.
You might want to bring in some light for yourself, because as soon as I did that, my energy's like expansive. So you definitely want to do that.
And as V was doing that session, the further in he was getting into it, the more I felt like a bit drained myself, just being a part of it.
Yeah.
You really feel it.
Yeah. It did not like when I brought in light, that's when it said my name. Mm-hmm. It started saying all those things you said. And that's when it turned. Did not like the light I brought in.
You know what's interesting?
I hear you.
Is after I had called out that I was seeing a shadow behind my shoulder, I had stopped seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting how that worked. Wow. Well, this is going to be some interesting stuff to look through, and I'm
Mhm.
probably going to be. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to be posting more shorts on the other episodes, and I will probably. I'm thinking about making a playlist for each of the highlights for each of the episodes. I don't really want to do that because then I'm going to have way too many playlists, but I'm also not trying to shuffle too many of the highlights together and confuse
Right.
people of what highlight is to what episode.
Yeah.
So,
ow, dog. I'm not, ow. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but my dog got up and used me as a post to push on my ribs to scratch herself. I'm sorry.
I should have never touched the cat. The dog can not stand it when I touch anything else that's not her.
Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's all good. So I think this went pretty well. Kite just came through. Interesting. So before we close our session out, I'm going to do a peaceful closeout, and then we're gonna answer any questions that anybody has that's still in the chat.
Yeah, kudos for making it this long.
Yeah, seriously.
This was a pat on the back.
Yeah, I mean, you literally stuck around for a whole investigation, basically.
Yeah, that's great.
That's pretty impressive. Whoever's still here,
around a lot longer than I did.
Yeah. So
sorry, I had to take a few bathroom breaks.
Oh, you're all good. So the Spirits and Pam, I really appreciate the contact, communication, everything. I wish nothing but the best and peace and love and light towards you, and surround you and protect you from us and you. I'm closing this out peacefully. Thank you. So, and now after this, when I get off, I am going to be lighting a clearing candle for both me and you guys. And I will be grounding. I'm going to be doing a lot of candle work tonight. So, that's kind of like my specialty when it comes to any type of craft. Is my thing is candle work. I love candle work. I work really well with the flame. So, I'm going to be sharing some of that energy you guys' way. And so a proper clearing will be done. And Pam will understand that, because the clearing is also to protect the object from any harmful intruders coming in to combat the spirits within the object too. So I'm going to I'll clear the space to make sure that there is a comfort zone set for these objects, because it's part of the proper care of it.
Yes.
So something that's really important. So anyways, I think this went pretty well. It was really fun. It was really interesting. I am pretty drained.
Yeah.
The focus was pretty tough in some situations, but we made it through, and I feel like it was a quest, because I mean, we had moments where you had to break away and ground yourself, get yourself realigned, and I could tell that you were getting really bombarded with energy. So
especially when I went in and started doing like the human Estes session.
Yeah,
like that was really cool, and I would like to do more of that. Even from a distance, like even if I was like on investigations, that was really interesting. And seeing, this is kind of my thoughts, is, you know, this is a being, right? They say it's a being, but it's more like, okay, y'all gonna have to stop doing that. Keep kicking me. Basically, how can I say this? This energy affects humans in the sense that it feeds off of what it can get them to do. So a lot of times it can mess with energies of like how it has messed with people's food source. I was seeing the tragedies and the things that it's persuaded to people to do over the years. Is what I'm trying to say. Kitty, what are you doing? Quit.
Oh, there goes the ring light.
The influence is powerful. The energy associated with the influence is extremely powerful. And And there are times in the past when I had this object before I got to the level of growth where I am today, where there was disturbing moments of some thoughts of anger, thoughts of envy, those types of thoughts that would hit me. And then I started realizing like I'm being affected because this isn't how I think. And that's when I had then, that was back then when I would have Pam on top of the shelf, like that far back. And so I went from that to just putting Pam dormant from the public.
Yeah.
And I had to keep her locked away in a suitcase with full of all sorts of protection. And
Can I
even though
interrupt you and just say bye to Mikey's Hauntings and thanks for
yeah,
hanging
thank you,
out with
Mikey.
us. Yeah, thanks for hanging with us. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and take care as well. We'll see you on the flip side, buddy.
Excellent. So I had to keep her locked up for a while, and even though this doll was locked up in a case and isolated from everyone, I still had to keep in some sort of contact and communication with the object to let the object know that I'm keeping it safe, and not just cutting off the doll, because when with a haunted object, you isolate an object or keep it dormant for a while and ignore it and let it dust up. You open up that box, you're going to get some repercussions in it or retaliated.
Yep. Just
And
like
they will
when
be
we
pissed
sealed
off.
Angela.
Yep.
That was, I had them seal it. I sealed it energetically from here to Kentucky, and they did the actual process of sealing it. And Duranus said when he opened that up, that's the only time I've ever had that experience that I can relate to with what you're saying. You had a world of stuff happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of my experiences happened. I had 3 major personal experiences from 3 objects, and that's Pam, Angela, well, both the Angelas, Angela the wedding doll and Angela the demon doll. And those are the primary ones that I know have been linked to some sort of attack or attempt attack towards me.
Yeah.
And so that's why these 3 objects are my heaviest of energies of associated with the object.
100%.
Yeah. So that's why those ones are in cases. I've not had any type of really threatening or life-threatening feel from all the other objects. I've had some stuff like Giggles the Clown, had some really iffy moments with that one, but nothing like these other objects, not the ones I have glassed in the case. So
yeah, it's everything's different, every layer and every level. Different things attached. Sometimes it's just residual energy that can throw off, it's all kinds of stuff.
Different personalities involved with them too.
Yeah.
Your own thoughts.
Thought forms.
Well, I mean,
basically,
your thoughts are not actually yours. Like, they're technically happening. You're just the person who's there witnessing them.
To a degree, in my opinion. I mean, it's intuitive. We have our thoughts sometimes can be infiltrated by good and bad things. Yeah. That's why you have to have the discernment. Yep. So, that's just part of learning. That's part of the human experience, honestly, in my opinion. That's part of living and growing.
It's important to analyze your thoughts.
That's why
you're having them.
Yeah, the influence, the negative influence comes from the negative collective that tries to intervene with the masses.
Yeah.
And so sometimes there's people that are more vulnerable than the next, and they fall susceptible to the negative collective, and then they feed that negative collective, and which could spread like a plague and also seed that type of influence on more people. So it spreads like a virus.
Yes.
So
it does.
That's why the more people are like kind of going through these spiritual awakenings now is weakening the negative. The negative is losing, and that's why our Earth's frequency has changed a lot more, and we're going through this new cycle that where everybody's could have kind of have that level up of a higher density state of consciousness.
Yeah.
So, and that's where you get into like the chakras and all that stuff. I don't know if you've heard of like how us in the third density, we're at like the people that the general part of the population is at what we call the yellow ray, which is like part of like, so the 7 chakras you got from red to violet, right? So we're at the yellow ray, and the people that are a part of that really feed into the negative are at an orange ray. So you got the sociopaths that associate their energy in the orange ray. But if you made it in the yellow ray, then you're at an area where you jump up. So when the earth, we cycle into this new earth, we jump up a level into the green ray, which is loving consciousness. And so you got love without wisdom, you go up into blue, and you level up into the purple, and then you got up to the violet. So we got seven densities. So the 7th is said to be you've made it to rainbow body, all 7 chakras. So so it's almost like a level up situation, of your state of consciousness, of how connected you are to the divine. And it's all a quest for each individual of how we take our free will, so it's really interesting. And it's a whole, sometimes people will get left with more answers or more questions than answers because it gets really complex. But to really summarize it, that's of the way my studies and how I've started realizing things, is that's basically, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Well, to kind of, and I've heard of the rays myself, and I've also heard that there's different ascended beings that are attached to the different rays. And I have seen, so like, before I really understood any of, I mean, I understood it. There's a certain level of ascension that you get to when you just know things. You don't have to know the details or the extreme ins and outs. All that becomes irrelevant because we realize that it's very hard to achieve that. But an individual like myself, inquisitive, I'm going to keep pushing for those answers, right? But to a degree, I know when to stop. It's never not enough for me. I do have limits to where I'm just like, okay, I understand. I woke up one day and that's how it was. But when I was doing a clearing for this little old lady, that she had a spirit on her in her house, that's when I saw my rainbow wings. My regular light came out, and that entity just looked at me and charged me. And then I've never had this happen before. When I was in the astral and I was not asleep, I was awake, I saw 2 wings pop out, and they were like, they were rainbow, like a neon light running. And when that happened, that entity had come up to me, and it stopped, and it turned its head like this, and then it retracted, I know this sounds wild, but it turned into a whole bunch of balls, and I had to catch them because it tried to get away from me. And that lady's breathing, she was breathing at like a 97 or 98%. The night that I did that, when my mom was there watching after, the next day her breathing went up to a 94.
Wow.
It was laying over her at night because she had one of them she had an oxygen mask.
Yeah.
It was sucking the energy out of her and the oxygen mask. It was there for the energy. And it had grown so big. It was so mighty that it had grown so much. That's a whole other topic. But yeah, that was the first time I ever seen my rainbow wings.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was crazy.
Wow.
It's really hard to, it's not hard to talk about these kind of things, but I know it's hard for some people to understand. But these are the visions that I get, and then I see real world results.
Yeah.
So
no, it makes a whole lot of sense to me. Like as you're talking about it, I'm kind of decoding exactly what you're getting at with it.
Yeah.
So, and it's really understanding to me. But yeah, to a lot of people, this is very hard to understand.
It's so far away from the 3D, from the physical.
Right.
And it just, until you get to that level, then I know that sounds crazy. It's not trying to sound egotistical, but it's literally how it goes. Like, you would have told me this kind of stuff 7 years ago, I'd have been like,
Yeah, it's a big red pill to swallow, because it's a lot of information that really changes a lot the way you kind of think about things. So especially spiritually. So
100%.
Mm-hmm.
But are you ready to wrap up now and get some questions? See if anybody has any questions. I think we got 6 left.
Yeah, we got 6 people. Does anybody have any questions?
She is not. The dog just turned on necrophonic. She's got a question, evidently.
That's hilarious.
Good night, Connie. Thanks for hanging out.
Good night, Connie. Thanks for hanging out.
I think Connie sent me some Reiki blessings too. Thank you, Connie.
Awesome.
Well, she sent us, not just me, us.
Awesome. Is there anybody else in the chat that has any questions?
I think my dog just gave me a flea.
Thank you, Moonlight Awakening. Hope you enjoyed.
Oh, thank you, Moonlight.
Yeah, I felt it, Connie. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie.
Thank you, knock V out though. V's over here like.
Oh man, I'm gonna be sleeping pretty hard tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I'm already knowing I'm probably gonna have a really bizarre, vivid experience in my sleep. Probably, I'm probably gonna have one of those type of dreams.
Yes, gotta protect and clear, Connie. That's exactly what I'll be doing. My candle work tonight too, and then I'll probably go through the house and clear tomorrow. Yeah, it's 12 o'clock here. Last night I had a dream that I was pewed in the chest a bunch of times by zombies, because it was like me and V in a white, like one of those office trailers out in the middle of the woods, and all of a sudden I saw all these zombies come in because I took melatonin. And they ended up with pews. Yeah, and they ended up with pews, and I had a pew, and then my pew didn't want a pew, and then they pewed me, and I felt it, and then I woke up like, damn, that was bad. So that was my melatonin.
Damn, that's crazy.
Dream. I felt it though. I felt it poke me in the chest, and it all went numb. It was really weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, usually after I investigate, the night after investigating, I usually end up with some type of crazy vision, or I end up having a very elusive dream, or some type of astral projection experience.
Yeah.
I wish I did.
Mine happened before normally. They will happen after, but the arts place and I wasn't even asleep though, having that vision of that man walking back and forth in front of the arts place was wild. But anyways.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we're gonna hop off here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Time. Yep. Yes, we really thank. I'm surprised to even see 6 after almost 4 hours. Thank you guys for tuning in for this long and sticking around.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Connie said, "Stop V, LOL, melatonin zombies." Yeah, everybody's laughing, and there's Z zombies, sleep zombies. Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's how I feel. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get my candle going. So.
Yep.
Thanks you guys for joining and doing this experiment with me. I really appreciate you guys doing this.
Yeah, no doubt. It was totally worth it.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it. It was fun.
Yep. All right. Bye. Happy nightmares.
Happy nightmares.